All right, let's try this again. I don't know if anybody's out there, but let me go spam this out. Let's see if we can make this work again. And move this over here. What a pain in the ass tonight. All right, let's see if we have anybody actually show up. That'd be great if we did, but it's okay if we don't. That was weird. Like the whole fucking thing just shut down. Um, jumped on to the backup camera, but that didn't really actually help. So it wasn't a camera issue. So it is what it is. Oh, man. Let's see if there's somebody I can torment around here while I'm waiting. Come on back in, guys. Water's fine. Water's fine. I guess I don't know what I did. Torment you? I'll do it, my brother. I'll do it. We'll see if we can't get we'll see if we can't get uh Jesus to come over. Indian Jeebus. At any rate, guy, I don't know what I honestly I have no idea what was going on there. That was like a complete software fuck up, software glitch. The I ended up having to do basically a clean install. I thought I could do that and kind of jumble things. You have a shield instead of a wrench. That's nice. What is that? Yeah, look at that. Yeah. Promoted, I guess. I don't know. I didn't do it. How many times do I think the Clintons will plead the fifth when they appear before Congress over Epstein? Hillary is on record as having no dealings with him or ties to him. I mean, that's gonna be very interesting. As I was saying before, I was so rudely interrupted by technology. Um, all of the important pieces of the Epstein file releases are being glossed over, and because everybody's just got TDS on the brain. Honestly, didn't learn anything new about Trump in the new release, in the things that were released. Somebody the other day was kind of freaking out that he said that he would walk through the dressing rooms when it was the Miss USA pageant or whatever. Well, that's not unusual. And I know he says he was the only dude there, but there's no fucking way. Although I have learned from Vibe the other day that um, in gymnastics and sports, so in modeling, I don't know why this is. It probably has something to do. Um, it probably has something to do with like child actresses and shit. But anytime you have minors on a set or in a pageant, they have advocates there, and they're not even parents. Like because there have been so many, I guess, so many episodes where parents have basically pimped out their kids to get a win. That um, that these advocates are not typically parents. I'm sure they could be. I shouldn't say that they can't be, but I'm saying they're not um, usually not that. And so literally there was nothing new in anything that's been released, right? The Howard Stern that was made live on the fucking radio. and nobody thought a single thing about it. Like nobody was like, "Oh my gosh, he's they're fucking serious about this shit." None of that shit. And by the way, that is literally the FBI going out and trying to find everything they can to dump into the Epstein files, right? Like this had nothing to do with Epstein, to be honest. But I digress. Um, the I guess my real problem here, and look, I think I've made my opinions about degeneracy and um, you know that kind of bullshit. I'm pretty. I have a fairly um, I have a fairly well known obvious viewpoint on degeneracy of all kinds. And one of the things that we often talk about is how, these, how in the red pill space, especially, you have men who um, fully expect to be able to bang lots of attractive women. That's literally their goal. And if you can't, they consider you a failure. And then and that's like literally part of popular culture right now. This is how fucked up our society is, by the way. Which I reject. I believe in the patriarchy. I believe in actual relationships. I believe in a lot of things. Now, I was a degenerate at one point in time. I make no bones about that. I don't hide that. I'm not proud of it, but it is what it is. I made my decisions. I will live and die with them. But at the end of the day, it really seems like that what we're doing most of the time is we're taking this purity standard that none of us possess and applying it to people. And the other night I was on Wick's panel, not Wick, Prime's panel, and they were talking about how, all of these, all these politicians, they have these affairs and they have all these women. I'm like, yeah, fuck yeah, they do. Like, literally, JFK literally had a tunnel, used the tunnel systems under the White House to go bang Marilyn Monroe in various hotels around, and swanky ass hotels too, around Washington, right? He wasn't doing interns. He was doing Marilyn fucking Monroe. LBJ. Basically, I believe every single president, with the possible exceptions of Obama, just because I don't think he could get laid in a fountain of pussy. Although it might surprise me, for all we know, he really did, he was into it. He just couldn't, didn't get caught. But what they really told me is that all of those dudes, I don't think any of them were married, would turn down pussy. That's a bold claim. That's a bold claim. Bold. Powerful men, that's what happens. So it is part of that. Now, do I think that it's right? Fuck no, I don't. I think it's fucking degenerate as fuck. I just acknowledge that it is. Right? I'm not hiding. I'm not sticking my head in the sand like, oh no, that's not really true. And Clinton in the Oval Office with the cigar. What the fuck's that all about? It's this weird purity complex that I just don't get. You don't want us to bash OF models. You don't want me to call Lily Phillips and Bonnie Blue fucking degenerates. You don't want to shame women and men for the number of sexual partners they have, but you all of a sudden are very concerned about where Trump wets his dick. Really? That's the strategy. And it's just dumb. It's literally the dumbest thing that I constantly come across. Am I saying it's right? No. Am I saying that it gives me pause in their ability to execute the duties of their office? On with some of them for fucking a right. I yeah, absolutely. I honestly think that Bill Clinton. I think Bill Clinton was compromised severely. I think that I honestly I think that there's an Epstein all the time. Epstein's just like the one that got caught. I think there are others, and they deal in blackmail. They deal in political knowledge. It's fucking disgusting. But none of you motherfuckers will actually elect a good dude. You know, somebody like, I mean, you would never you would never elect the faithful Christian male. No, no, you're gonna what we're gonna elect is a fucking clapped out whoremonger. No, that's what we're gonna. That's what we're gonna elect. Next time, it's gonna be, probably be some, I bet that I think the Democrats are probably gonna run some closet like fucking booty juice. They'll run booty juice, and they'll run some woman, probably AOC, maybe. Got to have all of the things after her name. Woman of color, OF model, bartender. You know, this is the fucking degeneracy that we live in. I don't like it. I'll just call it what it is. It'll be Newsom and AOC or Mayor Gabe Pete Booty Juice. Yeah, I think you're right. I agree with that. And fucking Newsom's had his dick in more strange than he can count. And that motherfucker can obviously count to 12 billion because that's how much he's stolen from pardon me. That's how much they've spent on that train. I am back, Glare 1%. I had to reset everything. I had to I had to uninstall and reinstall software and a bunch of shit. I don't know what the fuck went on. I think that there was I did a driver update, and I think that it didn't agree with everything else. Maybe another driver was out of date or some shit. I don't know. It's working good now, so we'll figure it out. But thank you for coming back. So Booty Juice, yeah, yeah. I just don't understand why we're so distracted by all of this. Right? Like, I'm much more interested in a politician that can do their damn job. Harris said she's running again. Well, that's fucking awesome, honestly. That'll split the Dems So I encourage that. I hope she runs as a fucking independent too. God, that would warm the cockles of my heart. Probably down there in the subcockle region. Lower cockles. It's fucking gross, guys. And we can't get a decent ass politician to run. I've said this before, I'll say it again, and I don't understand why it's not the case that we do not elect the captains of industry, the people that are successful in business or in life, that have something other than a political science degree. I don't have any idea why we keep electing professional politicians. What even worse is I can't understand why anyone would say that their vote doesn't matter. I can't understand why any motherfucker that's breathing will literally say it's fixed, it's rigged. Obviously, it's not fucking fixed or rigged. If it was fixed or rigged, Trump wouldn't have won that second term, baby. He wouldn't be in office right now. The Dems won't let her run? Maybe. I say I don't disagree with this, but I don't think the right actually gives a shit about morals. I think that if they don't, this is what I think happens. And you guys can correct me if I'm wrong. I could be, but I don't think I am. This is what happens. We go out and get the guy that we need. Trump, Vance, somebody like that. Governor Lee of Tennessee, DeSantis down in Florida. We go get the guy we need. Now, he ain't likable. I mean, he's okay. He ain't. Nobody wants that fucker for a neighbor. Right? We don't want that guy for a neighbor. But we go get the guy we want. And then the left finds some dirt. Or even our side will find some dirt. The center right. The alt-right. The whatever the fuck right. Can't just be conservative anymore. You got to be a fucking special blend. It's like the fucking Starbucks of goddamn politics, man. Like what? I don't give a shit if you are a half-calf latte drinking, centrist, left-leaning, conservative, socially liberal, but fiscally conservative and constitutionally aware. God damn it, man. The fuck is wrong with you? You are either liberal or you are conservative. But what always happens is we go get the guy we want, and the next thing you know, you've got the entire lefty news media network digging all the dirt up, and they put it in our face. They're like, oh, you can't elect that motherfucker. He cheated on his tax back in wherever, right? He voted on this thing that you wouldn't like. He does this. And so we sour on our own candidates because they don't pass our purity test, which is bullshit. And the right, for whatever fucking reason, we can't just say, yeah, I don't like that shit. He does that. I understand he does. I don't like that shit. But motherfucker, we need that sumbitch in office. We'll say dumbass shit like, we got to hold our nose and fill out the fucking ballot. And we'll say that shit. We will say that shit. And you know what happens is the left divides us. The news, it's 24/7 on blast that, what DeSantis took, a trip on a fucking airplane somewhere. And he had an intern that there was some questionable things about. And he voted this way and he voted that way. and he wasn't nice enough to the Cubans, and what the fuck ever. And all of the damn conservatives will get their backs up. Gringo speaking English in America. Hell yeah, man. The nerve of me. God dang it. I apologize, guys. I haven't been reading this. Let me scroll up here. Would Vance and Ron DeSantis work in 2028? No. I think Vance. Give me a minute. I don't know. I think Vance and Don Jr. would work. I think that would work. I would actually like to see that ticket. I would like to see it because I think Don Jr. as VP would have, you know, when you put Don Jr. on a panel to understand or a committee or something like that, when you put him on a committee to oversee something, he'd actually fucking do it because that motherfucker knows how to work. He's got a work ethic. Something else that's sadly lacking in Washington. Harris will run for California governor. That's fine. Nobody cares. My man says, Grid, I agree. Nobody looks at running for office as a job interview, but look at it as moral superiority popularity contest. I don't think the people on the right actually look at it that way, but they're forced to look at it that way by the left, which is gay. We shouldn't do that. The right's problem is years of placating to, yes, Democrats for the last 40 years or so. Now all that's left is rhinos in the GOP anymore, sadly. I disagree with you, but there is some stuff. There is some stuff there. Okay, friends, Plum. Let's hang the really. Well, you might get a timeout there if the mods are in the house. That's very we don't really like that kind of talk in the chatteroony there, Hot Rod. So got to be careful. English back to England. Pigs back to England. Well, how about we put all the Spanish speakers back in Spain? Like it a lot. You know, there was a movement in Mexico. Do you guys know this? There is a movement. Vance and Rubio. That could be good. There was a movement a few years ago amongst the what they call themselves, Mesoamericans, or they had a name for it. It wasn't Aztec, but it was something like that. It was the Aztec, Inca, you know, kind of tribals that were trying to come out and say basically that all of the Spanish types needed to fucking go, and they were actually trying to get the original Aztec language as the official, you know, to replace Mexican or Spanish as the language. Be very interesting to see how that works out for them. I don't think it's gone anywhere for like 5 or 10 years, but because, you know, they ain't got the numbers. They ain't got the numbers. Raging in chat is for dumbass leftist. So, welcome, Fran. How are you? You doing okay, buddy? And keep that heart rate down. I don't want you need an emergency room tonight. Mitch McConnell should resign from the Senate and let someone younger take his. I agree with that. He should do that, mullet baby. Yeah. Mitch McConnell's one of those that I have no idea why he is still in office. You know, I really don't. But it's proof of the vote the name you know. You know. So yeah, we got a real problem as conservatives in this country. Real problem. Because if you tell a Democrat, so here's the thing, where's the outrage over Slick Willie? I mean, there's actual proof that he was there multiple times. Where's the outrage? He hasn't paid off his soul yet. That's funny. That's actually funny, Blair. That's funny. But seriously, guys, where's the outrage from the left? There's no queen, Fran. You're off your meds, buddy. You're about 3 years too late. That's true. Mitch does control the state. But I mean, seriously, why isn't the lefties all just going batshit over the fact that old Slick Willie was all over those papers? And you know that shit's true. I mean, that, again, he got caught in the Oval Office. You know, I mean, it's a bold thing. Right. Says Spence, I agree with that. I don't know if you caught my earlier rant, but it's just what the left does to every single conservative candidate ever. And we got to quit it. We have to stop the purity testing. I like pigs, Fran. I shoot them quite a bit in Texas. Wild pigs. They're great. They taste yummy. They're really delicious. Delicious. You know, you can shoot them from a helicopter in Texas. I didn't know. I mean, I don't know if you know that. Because the left is only outraged when the right does something immoral. Well, and is it really immoral, right? Like, that's the question I always have to ask myself. Is it immoral? I mean, it's immoral to me, but it may not be immoral to them. I agree with this 100%. That's true. And that's exactly what happened. So this is a prime example. So if you try and say, well, you know, a Democrat has done X and it's disgusting. There is always a reason why it doesn't matter. It's fine. A Republican is just suspected of doing something. Just suspected. There's no proof. And the media machine will pump that shit down your throat. It'll have it in your face. It'll be everywhere you look. Everything you see will be about the degenerate Republican, how far the right has fallen. And then we will absolutely, mullet baby, we all know this. We will literally, as a party, we will purity test those fuckers, find them lacking, and then it's over. All over but the crime. And that's how we lose elections. That's how we keep good candidates out of office. Fran, you've got to quit listening to the voices in your head, bro. About the politicians, what? Franz, my buddy, Franz. You are first of all, I'm not English. So, you know. My ancestors met the folks on the Mayflower. But I digress. Aren't you like you kind? You know, I'm looking at your channel here, Hot Rod, and you kind of look. I mean, and I'm not trying to judge here too much, but you kind of look Filipino, my man. Oh, Buenos Aires. We didn't kidnap anyone. 1976. Well, let's check that out, friends. 1976, Buenos Aires. Isn't that when you guys had your little revolution down there? I could be wrong. I was like 5 at the time. Um, yeah, so we didn't do that, you dumb fuck. We did provide some support for the coup that overthrew Isabel Perón, enabling a bloody dictatorship. The Ford administration, the Secretary of State Henry Kissinger, gave encouragement to the junta, which launched the dirty war. Let's see, support for the coup. We knew about it in advance and considered the military a moderate alternative to the unstable Perón government. That's what I remember too. I'm sorry. Are you like are you insane? Are you an insane person? I believe that you're an insane person, sir. Do you take medication? Well, we're all capitalists, but we're not imperialist. Actually, capitalist imperialist that's a contradiction, to be honest. I can't take you seriously, Franz. I do remember something interesting about Argentina and the Germans from World War II. Yeah. Does anybody else remember that? All that, all those people, high-ranking German officials, aristocrats. I sound English. You sound stupid. I'm trying not to judge you on your voice. You remember Obama and Ferguson defending the police? He did not defend the police. You're on crack, sir. Obama threw the police under the bus in Ferguson. By the way, did anybody catch, guys? So we were listening to this thing over on a show last night where they had this video of this woman. I think it was on OGs, and we were listening to this woman who was a protester who had been abused by ICE or BP. It was the biggest bag of shit I've ever heard in my life. He did not defend the police, Fran, whatever. And Ferguson, you're insane, sir. He threw them directly under the bus. Directly under the bus. Derek Chauvin's in prison because of it. So, but anyway, so this crazy woman in court, she's in with now she's in, guys, she's in Minnesota, right? Minneapolis. And she talks about Ferguson being right down the road. Now, I don't know if you understand how geography works, but Minnesota, St. Louis, Missouri. It's a couple of states in between there. You know what I mean? We'll take Billie Eilish seriously when she turns off. Yeah, right. Her turns her $4 million home to the native tribe in LA County. Absolutely. Why wouldn't you? Franz, you're probably gonna play what? You haven't. I don't have anything to play. But you know you're lying. Why are you lying? Obama did not defend the police. I got to be honest. I find the mods incredibly nice tonight. Thank you all. We're Neanderthal. So look, you got to look. Either we're Neanderthals or we're English. Fran, you were literally the dumbest person on this panel. You can't spell properly. You do not understand that Obama did not back the police in Ferguson. He literally threw them under the bus. Derek Chauvin is in jail because of Obama. How about that? Yes, I have a flag behind me. I'm an American. What are you? Are you, Fran, are you Argentinian? I'm not. I don't defend Obama. You are defending Obama. You're saying that he threw the police under the bus. I'm telling you that you're saying he stood up for the police. I'm telling you he fucking didn't. He was a piece of shit that threw them under the bus. He should have defended them. I'm not an assassin anymore. The U.S. got what we wanted from Greenland. Trump needs to do the same for Baja, since none of it touches mainland Mexico. Make them an offer they can't refuse. I mean, we could just go take Baja. Obama said literally protests are violent. Let's trust a judge. You think he meant that shit? Well, he literally said that. He literally said he went to the Black Lives Matter rally, you dumb fuck. He's not imperialist. I'm not even sure he's capitalist. He's socialist for sure. The smart person in the room, ladies and gentlemen. Asin. It's very easy. He did not defend the police. He literally called Black Lives Matter in. He literally helped create the group, which, by the way, stole from all their members. I mean, how can people be? This is what we're working against, guys. This is that guy right there. That's the dumb fuckery that we're working against. Okay, it's people like that who literally. There's probably people out there that believe this shit that Obama threw that Obama stood up for the police. That's insane. He literally threw Derek Chauvin so far under the bus. The guy's still in prison. Cops were getting assaulted by BLM because of Obama. You are literally not saying the truth at all, Fran. Yeah, I don't even think you're in America. I think you're like in Norway or somewhere where, you're a fucking communist. Are you a communist there, Franco? Are you Filipino? You look like a little bit of a Norwegian vibe going on there. Actually, you know what you look like? You look like you might be a little bit German in Argentina, which would make you. Are you the son of a war criminal directly or what? You're not saying the truth, that's for sure. You're literally the dumbest person in the room right now. This is the stupidity I have to. I'm just saying, if you go look at his channel, he looks Middle European, probably German. And he was all pissed off about Argentina. Who was in Argentina after World War II? Who were the Europeans that were in Germany after World War II? Just saying. The picture is somebody, not you. Yeah, is he well, Franco. At least he can speak English. You're in Argentina? Well, why don't you fuck off back there? Because nobody gives a shit about Argentina. I got like this much of German in me. Hey, didn't they have to like fire? Didn't Argentina go libertarian just recently because they were so fucking corrupt? Didn't Argentina do that? I'm pretty positive. And he's like a real libertarian too. Yeah, Malay. Yeah, you've got Malay there. Yeah. You would love to participate as equals. You're not equal, sir. I do not do battle with the unarmed. I just don't. It would be a battle of wits, sir, and you are sadly unarmed. You don't even understand the facts of the case of Ferguson. Like, that's insane. What do you think of Malay there, Franz? That's sad. That is the truth right there. Honestly, you can, I mean, you know what? And I love a lot of different countries, but I don't give a shit who you are in the world. If you're not American, you're just not our equal. Honestly. You all suck. That's German blood, Hot Rod. That's German blood. Where they fled after we kicked their ball sacks in. You remember that? Of course you do. They equal our idiots? Potentially. Is this the commie bastard that I debated the one time on Modern Day Debate? Wasn't he from somewhere down in South America? You would like to talk like you can't spell. How can you talk? But I can. We can do that. I will embarrass the shit out of you right now. I need it too. You know what? I mean, I'm gonna be honest with you. You have no idea what you're in for. Come on up, Hot Rod. I double dog dare you. You ain't got a hair on your country ass if you don't come up right now. I honestly think Malay saved Argentina. The only reason Argentina even exists is because the United States of America did a trade deal with them for soybeans and shit. You'd be some starving motherfuckers if you were still in all that commie nonsense. Fucking commies. Come on, Fran. Come on, buddy. You just don't know today, buddy. The link is posted. Click the link and come on back up here, you dumb fuck. Come on now. It's okay if your internet if your internet goes down, mine did earlier. There is no such thing as new communist. It's just communist. I can prove it because you all are dumb as fuck. The idiocy of communism is thinking that it's finally going to work this time when it's never fucking ever worked before. Yeah, nobody gives a shit about Trotsky. Either get your dumbass up here because you asked to come up and have a discussion, and I posted the link. So all you got to do is click the link and bring your dumbass up here. I bet he doesn't speak English so good. That's okay because I speak American, not English. Fran, you asked to come up here. You asked for a verbal confrontation. I am giving you the opportunity right this minute, you sorry sack of shit. There's the link. Hit the link. Bring your sorry ass up here. It's right there, buddy. And you won't. You won't, because I will tear you limb from limb on communism alone. I will literally point out to you how much better your country is under libertarianism than it ever was under any kind of communism, socialism, and even the bullshit that you guys considered democracy, which was fucking weird. But bring it, Franz, Franny, whatever. I don't give a shit. You can call yourself whatever. I don't care. Bring it. Get up here. Do you know how to click a link? You asked to come up here. You asked for an audience with the king, and I have granted you said audience. Get your dumb ass up here. That is correct. $9.99 comes in from Insane Wheels. Here's Fran's equivalent to $1 billion. It's true. It's true because of the hyperinflation under communism. Thank you very much for the super chat, Mikey Balls. Franz, where you at, buddy? Still waiting. Still waiting. Come on now. Come on. Come on now. You ain't got a hair on your country ass. I know you don't. I know there's no way that you will stand toe to toe. Yeah, I know that you won't. You're 41. I'm 55. Bring your dumb ass up here. Bring it. You made some very bold claims, sir. Bring your dumb ass up. Come on. Come on. I will fight you with half my brain tied behind my back just to keep things fair. I'll even keep one eye closed. My good eye. I'll close my good eye. That's my good. All right, here we go. This will be fair. Come on now. Come on now. You made some bold statements there, Grandpa. You don't have to ban him. Just give him 24 hours. You are shouting at people on the internet while naked in your house, and you think you're in any fucking way superior to anyone? Just letting me know what? Count. They're all the same. I missed something. What's up, Emmett, by the way? I missed an Emmett chat. They are all the same. Libertarians are not all the same. They hate each other just like we hate, just like I don't have any real love for Catholics. Technically, we're all Christians. That's very weird. YouTube has brought me here. What this? Well, we were having a nice discussion about politics, and then we had a commie in here who was trying to tell us that a bunch of really weird shit, and then he wouldn't bring his ballless ass up here. Welcome in, Nid. Or is this Franz on an alt account? If it's Franz on an alt account, just go ahead and say so. Hit the link, come up, and take your whooping like a man. Mikey Balls, you want to jump up here? Because I actually really would like to have a sounding board for some of my things this evening. You don't have to, of course, but if you would like, certainly welcome to. So, first time here. All right, Nitty. Well, I do political commentary, satire, and social issue discussion on this show. And we have fun. We talk about guns and we talk about cool stuff all the time. It's a very interesting show. Normally it's a lot of fun. Tonight we've had some technical difficulty, so I'm a little testy, and yeah, it's all we got a lot of stuff going on. It's a good channel. It's a good place to be. Good place to hang out. And it's we're having a good time tonight. So that's what's up. And yeah, I really don't have a whole lot more to add, I do debates. Normally I've been debating a lot lately. Tomorrow night will be a debate night. Tonight we're just chilling out. We're just having a good time. Half in the bag, finished the campaign trail about 45 minutes ago. I'm exhausted, so I'm happy to be here. Hanging though, join if I insist. Is there anybody that? What's up, Clover Tack? How are you, my man? I'm pretty chill. I am actually pretty chill. What's the debate tomorrow night? That's a great question. What is the debate tomorrow night? It's changed a couple of times, so give me 1 sec. I will figure it out. Here we go. Yeah. All right. So the economy, the prompt tomorrow night is going to be the economy after 1 year of Trump. I have a lot of things to say about that. There's no debate on SIG versus Glock. One's a brick and the other one's an unpredictable brick. I actually like SIGs. I shot my SIG yesterday. Clover Tech, what did you think of the interview with Keita last night? What you caught of it, of course. I'm actually about to edit it down, so. Am I in the affirmative? There is no real affirmative, I don't think. I will be taking the position that I think that the economy is better than it was, but we still have a lot of room to make. Dude, I've been having tech issue. I don't know what's happened. It looks like what it looks like is that at some point my software updated, but for some reason it didn't update the Microsoft C++, and that's been just causing me hell for the last 24 hours. So sounds more informal. Well, it's a panel debate tomorrow night. It won't be a formal debate. I mean, it's kind of formal, but it'll be a panel debate. Who's going to be in that, by the way? I should look in and see. It's going to be Non-Fawn, Stream Rift, Tyler, myself, and Castle. So 1, 2, 3-ish lefties, and 2 righties. So that'll be fine. Clover, I sent you a link if you want to pop on. What other channels do you pop in at, Nitty? What's your scene? Where do you normally hang out? All new names? Yeah, me and Tyler versus the rest of the useless unemployed college. Castle's not unemployed. He's not a college kid. And apparently he actually has a girlfriend, which is weird for, his age group. He is ahead of the game. And we have Clover Tag joining us on the big screen. What's up, my man?
Hey, this thing working? This thing on?
Start Irium webcam.
Oh, yeah, screw that. Hang on.
You don't have to, though.
Here we go.
Modern day debate, Raging Tomato. Yeah, the line. Yeah, it's the smaller ones. I got you. Mikey Ball is up in the joint.
What's up, man? Interesting. I'm trying
Loser! Loser!
Loser.
All losers.
So I'm trying to get my whole setup to work with your talk studio.
Yeah, your mic is very low. You need to either move towards it or
hold on. Let me try some. There's a few settings. Hold on. Yeah, it's all fucked up.
Crucible, if there's a gun to your head. I'm part of the Crucible. I don't actually go there very much anymore, but I consider myself part of the Crucible. I need to go hang out there more. I'm just too busy now. Too much shit going
on.
Yeah. I've never heard of the line. Raging Tomato is and modern day debate can't have. I've debated on modern day debate. I don't consider that particularly formal debate.
Check. All right. So is that better or no?
That's better, but it's better when you're closer.
Weird. Like this whole so I have a whole different system in the background to make this all happen. And for some reason, my output that I usually use is not working on this. I don't know why.
It's not a good day for technology.
It's not. That's all right.
There's probably fucking solar flares or some shit. I blame the aliens. Hey, I'm not saying it's aliens, but
it's aliens, right?
We accept the things we cannot change.
Chat, can you hear Mike okay? As long as the chat can hear, I can boost it on my end.
I hear him fine, which is weird.
Okay. Yeah, I have my volume down from earlier too. Because I had my whole fucking system freak the fuck out. So, but anyway, at Nitty, I'm seeming more even keel. Yeah, I'm consider myself pretty even keel. We do a debate show here, Nitty, on Saturday, where it's a single elimination. It's a single elimination event where we usually have 10 people debating. There are 3 judges. They're 7-minute debates. Each debater gets a minute for their opening, and then they debate each other for 5 minutes. At the end of the 5 minutes, the judges judge the debate, and a winner is declared. And then you either get popped off or you stay until there's only one left. The winner gets a cool hundo. Cool $100.
So you can't hear that soundboard, huh?
I can, yeah.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, you can?
Yeah, I heard it.
Oh, wait, you did hear that?
No, I didn't.
No, I can't hear that now, no.
Oh, man.
I heard something, but it may have been mine.
See, this is the bullshit. That's what I was talking about. Let me see if I can try to fix that.
Yeah. So, so the interview with Kita last night was really good.
Yeah.
I thought it was excellent. I really, I had a great time with Kita. And
she did really well. What I listened.
Yeah.
She has and of course for the audio, it doesn't fucking matter. but
Right.
she had the problem that a lot of people do, that the top of their head is in the frame and that's it. It's like,
Yeah,
move
right.
the camera where we can see you, like get it
Well, she's
closer.
literally using her laptop camera, so
Yeah, I'm sure, but she was like far away, and it was like really, it's like, okay, that's weird, but
yeah.
whatever.
I quit
Well,
on the soundboard, by the way. Fuck it.
yeah, it's all good, man. I got you. What sound do you want, man?
No, well, you originally called me up here for soundboard effects, so that's why I was trying to make it happen.
Sometimes my soundboard gets a delay to it too.
I don't hear nothing.
You didn't hear anything?
Nope.
Worked on my end, but
That's
No.
how it works. That's how it works on my end. I can hear it, but you guys can't. So
it usually works. But I've been fucking with everything today, so who knows? It may
Part
be
of the
time
deal.
to, yeah. But at any rate, guys, so I thought Kita did really well, and I learned a few things about her, her process and all of that. That worked.
I could hear that, but coming back in from your
From my mic.
speakers,
Yeah.
into your yeah.
Yeah, that's looped back
Why
in,
is that?
or
Yeah,
bleeding.
why is that? I don't know why that's happening. It's
So
and
my audio source that I use on StreamYard theoretically
uh-huh.
is a virtual cable to combine everything, whatever. And
Yeah.
so I do that, and it shows it on this program.
Yep.
And I select it, but nothing is red, which is weird.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
it is what it is.
Yeah. I forget how I had it all set up. Everything worked great. And I just kind of like didn't give a shit anymore. Well, the other thing is the soundboard. My soundboard software just updated. So who cares? But anyway,
Yeah, the her doing the stages with the Legos and setting them up, that was kind of neat. Like
Yeah.
I never thought of that. Like
yeah, I
using
have one of
things
those
like that.
kits. I have, I ordered it and you can 3D print them now yourself, of course, but, I got them from 3D Stage Plan,
Yeah.
.com or whatever. And I ordered the whole kit when I was a match director, so I could literally sit at my desk and just design stages, and then I'd take a picture of it, and then I could post a picture of the 3D stage when I announced the match, and then I would go put the match. When I put the stage on the ground, it looked pretty much like the 3D picture,
Mhm.
and so that was helpful. And I
You
found
know
my,
what will be
I would
you know
like
what
to.
will be neat with that, and they make cameras small enough nowadays. You could probably do
Walk
it
it.
like wireless if you put it like glue the camera to like a GI Joe or something, or some go buy some kind of action figure, right? And then glue the little camera to it, and then actually walk through it like first
Like
person.
you would use like a motorized cam. You'd like it would be on like a car or something, RC car or something like that.
Yeah, you could probably find some kind of a small. Yeah.
See,
But-
this is where drones come in play.
So I got my drone in today, Clover.
Nice.
Oh, see, that's a W. I've got I forget the exact model, but it's not a cheap one. You know, it's not one of those $500 ones. It's
I was actually, so I have a larger drone. I have a Contique, whatever the fuck it is.
Is that the one? Well, I remember the GoPro ones, the GoPro drones. Do you remember how big those were?
Right.
I mean, they were legit like this fucking big.
Yeah.
They were not like the consolidated little drones that we've got now.
So,
they were like this fucking big.
So I had a DJI clone, which is called a Contique, and it's a pretty good sized drone. And it's, good battery life. It would hover, and but you had to control it the whole time. And then it's sitting on my desk right now, and I was going to use it, but then CloverTech a few months ago, he got this DJI Neo, and he was like raving about how it'll follow you around, and you don't have to do anything.
I've got a DJI as well, like on the drone level.
Yeah. It's got like, it'll follow you. It will,
it'll do circle 8s. It'll do a whole bunch of stuff around you.
Program how you want it to do.
Yep.
It'll zoom in, zoom out. and you don't need a remote control or anything.
You could be in your car and it's gonna follow you, on a perfect path and avoid trees and all that shit.
Per car, but it's got all the obstacle avoidance.
Well, no, mine doesn't. So mine has ground avoidance, but that's it, and it's got that for landing purposes.
What year?
So, well, mine's the Neo. The one that Grid got is the Neo 2. So that's one of the perks of the Neo 2 is it does have 360 or whatever collision avoidance.
Yeah, dude, it's I watched a video of the Neo 2 and the guy's like, this obstacle avoidance is insane. Like he was out with like trees with just limbs with no leaves on them, and he's like, that always catches his drones.
Yeah,
are these because they get caught up in those limbs because they can't read it because there's no leaves. And the DJI just avoided it. And I'm like, I made the right damn decision. So I got that in today. I'm charging the batteries now. I've already put the app on my phone. And I'm actually, I've got to tomorrow. I've got to reach.
I bet you're excited. You're like, man, I want to go out there and play with this motherfucker. You know?
Yeah. Well, I mean,
be like the U.S. Army over here. Yeah.
So I like it because you can just literally like lift it off and it just follows you around, like, and it stays 10 feet away or whatever. And when I'm shooting a stage or something, that's going to be fucking
no remote, no phone, no anything. Literally push a button and it does it.
Yep.
And that's going to be, that's what sold. Like when Clover was telling me about it, I was like, I mean, that sounds super rad. And then I was like, I don't know. It can't possibly be that good. Could it?
Yeah.
It's awesome. It is. It is.
It really was that good.
It is.
As soon as and I've got mine registered, unfortunately, now. But as soon as
a lot of them are registered. Yeah.
Well, you have to if you're using it for YouTube stuff.
Yep.
But well, I mean, you don't have to, but I ain't spending.
No, you're being
in prison.
You're also saving your CYA, cover your ass.
Yeah. And so, but anyway, as soon as I catch a sale on the DJI, the Neo 2, I will probably buy the Neo 2 because I was using it the little range day we went to Sunday before shot. I was using it out there, and I actually had it following somebody else. And just getting some B-roll, and they walked really, really, really close to a tripod, and I almost did not get to and nobody was using the tripod. It was just sitting there, and I almost did not get to the tripod in time because that first generation Neo, like, it didn't give a shit. It was fixing to hit it.
Right. Yeah.
Now, here's the fucked up thing. Is that with your footage, you're gonna get kind of jerky because of that collision avoidance. That's gonna be the drawback.
Well, but the Neo 2 has the dual gimbal, and so
but it's still moving out of the way to avoid. So priority is avoiding the object, not recording.
Well, so the video that the guy shot, with showing the avoidance, it's not that jerky. It's
okay.
It because it's got that two-way gimbal, it slides, right? But it's not like bouncy and shit.
Yeah.
It's not like $1,000 drone would.
It's not as smooth though. That's what I was getting at.
Yeah,
you're going to be able to tell that it avoided something. Man,
I was like, I didn't realize that I had like accidentally bought the exact right thing until I was talking to Clover.
Yeah, I actually, it's funny is my dad, he's super into the technology thing, whatever. And I'm not really the guy that was like, hey, we need to buy a drone or whatever. He kind of went and did it himself. And this motherfucker spent like $4,000. You know what I mean? So he's like, I'm going to buy once, cry once, And I'm like,
that's a fucked up thing with mine. So I'm like, okay, like I want to get this because it's cool and it really adds another dimension to the content and blah blah blah. Because I had the Insta 360, so I could do first person stuff.
Right.
And I'm like, man, it'd really be cool to have this drone to get aerial and just get other different cool shots. And so I get it, and 99.9999% of the time it's used on my own fucking property here on my own fucking range. And then, I've literally got it a week, and somebody goes, "Oh yeah, if you use that commercially, like you have to be licensed and it has to be registered." And I'm like, "What the fuck?" And so, I spent like an entire day literally like researching all this shit. And there were YouTubers that the FAA had contacted, and luckily they gave them grace periods, they said, and whatever, to get it done. So I just started cramming with free resources, and like, as long I figured this out on a Sunday that I needed it, and on Friday I was taking the test.
Yeah, it communicates with those hours,
And then, well, that's the other thing, right? So any registered drone has to have the remote ID.
Yep.
And the DJI, the Neo, the itty bitty ones do not, because they're first of all, they're so small that's the whole point. And if they added all that, they wouldn't be as lightweight, right? And so that's fucked up, is because normally you wouldn't even have to register that particular drone, but because it's commercial, you have to register it, and then it has to have remote ID if it's registered. So you got to run a remote, you got to buy a fucking $50, whatever it was, remote ID module, to be able to even register it.
Yep.
Like, there's just all these fucking, the government fucking sucks. Like, all these hoops.
I
fly a drone on my own fucking property. Like, what the fuck?
Yep.
It's weird though, because when I looked at the way I read it, is because YouTube is well, I mean, it's a little bit different for you because you're getting there's a difference in the way that you get paid for it to be considered commercial. It was, I don't know, I'll look into it again. I did not come to the conclusion that I needed to do anything.
Well, I'm gonna tell you now, if you put that shit on any platform that has any type of advertising, I mean, it's as Mikey said, it's a cover your ass, like, because technically that's commercial use.
Yes, and for instance, when we were when I was in Temecula, California,
like, somebody's making money off that. It doesn't have to be you.
Yes, exactly. And that's what it was. Like, for instance, we would take drone footage, and the city would kind of actually bid on that money or bid on that footage because we were registered theoretically. You know what I mean? So there's lots of actual benefits that you can get out of it. But anyways, listen, thank you for having me up this evening.
Yeah, man.
I'm an old man. I've got to get ready for bed. So I very much appreciate you guys.
You're not that old though.
I'm 30.
I know.
Right.
So anyways, appreciate you guys. Have a great evening. Thank you for having me on your platform, Grid.
Is there still the DGen and concrete conventions at the same time as the SHOT Show?
Yep.
Yes.
Yep.
Yeah. And this is it's a weird deal. Carney
Concrete
watching from his show. I appreciate it. I don't know if you're streaming to your audience or not, but I appreciate it.
Yeah, the AVNs are on the weekend. Basically, the AVNs start as SHOT Show starts to end. The AVNs are starting to kick off, and then and concrete there's a little bit of overlap with concrete too. They're not the exact same time, but they overlap.
Well, it seemed like that the AVNs were there pretty much when about 2 days into us getting started.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. There's overlap, but they're not the exact same days or anything.
It used to be I remember when it was over in the other building, I remember it was like the same time.
Yeah, well, could have been.
Yeah.
I think they have expanded it, and they're talking about expanding it even further. So, even more days. Yeah, there's talk of that.
Different, more days.
Like adding a day. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I got you. Okay.
Yeah, I think they were talking about that, moving the range day from Monday to Sunday, and then making Monday an actual legit show day, so it would be all week. I don't know. I don't know if they will. My opinion with range days, they need to give that up to somebody and, you know, move on. Just focus on the show.
Yeah.
So you haven't played with your drone at all.
No,
What'd you
I
say?
got it today. I
Okay.
plugged it in to the well, all right. So first of all, I thought that the cable he sent was for like charging. So I just plugged it into a charger and was like, let it roll. And then it wasn't charging for shit. So then I'm like, oh, I got you. So I plugged it into a laptop charger and now it's finally like charging.
Yeah.
And it's probably charged. And then I realized that I had made an assumption that was not in evidence. And that assumption was that it would come with a that it would come with a case that you could carry it in.
Oh yeah. Nope.
No, it is
There's a
not.
lot of options from little bitty ones to hard cases to whatever. Here's the thing about the cases,
Mm-hmm.
and I do have a case for mine. When I run it to do any type of filming because of battery life and because of um, just the weight, um, because I also have to add that remote ID module.
Mm-hmm.
So, for example, when I took it to Vegas, it was in the case because it was all stripped down. But I've got all kind of accessories for mine. Like now, I've upgraded the propellers, and yeah, I'm trying to think of the fucking company. Hang on, Master Air Screw. I remembered it. I didn't have to go
I
look.
have master screw props on my
Yeah. Get the Master Air Screw props. They're quieter and a whole lot more fucking responsive, and they're less than $20. They're like 15 or 20 bucks
yeah, I'll have to look into
you get, and I think you get 5 of them for that. Anyway, you get 4 and an extra. So no, you don't, because the right and the left sides or whatever are different.
Yeah,
So
yeah,
maybe
then
you do only get 4. Yeah.
Don will be our last for stage 1.
This is a clock store match. This is an indoor match. You want to see how slow I can move?
And that's your FPV cam?
Yeah, that is the DJI. I have everything DJI now. Like I never had any DJI stuff. And now I do.
Yeah.
And so this is an indoor match at the Glock store. I'm going to shoot it again this weekend. I had some issues here, mostly with mags, because the rifle takes Glock mags, and the pistol takes 2011 mags.
You brought the bullpup last time, right?
I did.
Cool. It's hoping not as loud.
That's exactly what I want to hear.
Yeah, they're making fun of me because I brought the Keltec last time.
Man, the audio is that just the audio off the camera?
Got it.
Yeah.
Are you ready?
Man, that's awesome audio.
Because that big
Wrong mag.
extended.
Pew 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 pew.
It's like taking all this thing.
If you're finished on that for clear. Whoa. If clear, hammer down. Okay. Did that go in your?
Almost. Almost did. There it is. Thank you.
Yep. Clear rifle. 5, 5,
It almost went back in the chain.
I grabbed the wrong mag, man.
Clear rifle.
Mags everywhere.
If clear, hammer down. And chamber
That's
fire.
pretty good video, right?
Yeah.
Pretty clear.
There it is. I feel like I missed one. Like I ran by it. But we'll find out in a minute.
We'll find out. What was it high? Range is clear.
Let's see how bad I did. They're gonna call it out. This is embarrassing.
2 Alpha.
Two.
2 Alpha.
Two.
2 Alpha.
2 Charlie.
2 Charlie.
Two.
2 Alpha.
Two.
2 Alpha.
Alpha Charlie.
Alpha Charlie.
Two.
2 Alpha.
Two.
2 Alpha.
It's a lot easier.
2 Charlie.
2 Charlie.
Two.
2 Alpha.
Two.
2 Alpha.
Two.
2 Alpha.
Alpha Charlie.
Alpha Charlie.
Alpha Charlie.
Alpha Charlie.
Alpha Charlie.
Alpha Charlie.
2 Charlie.
2 Charlie.
2 Charlies.
2 Charlie.
No Delta, no Mike.
Go, Mr.
That's not bad.
Nice.
That's, I mean, the camera actually does like really good.
Yeah. They did good.
So
It did well.
it did. Like I'm pretty happy with it overall.
Yeah, my Insta does. It does really good low light or lower light, like indoor type stuff. It does really well too.
Yeah, it's hard. The indoor is hard for me because of the glasses.
My wife used it at shot. She used the Insta a little bit.
Yeah.
I let her use it. I did not use it for anything. But again, we had that discussion. That the reason I chose the Insta was the weight. It's a little less.
Yeah, and I thought about that too, but for me it wasn't that big a deal, weight wise.
I can tell the difference, but maybe you gotta, I don't know. Your head ain't that big, but like, I don't know. Maybe you wear your caps tighter, or maybe you.
I did have.
I
to
don't know.
actually,
I don't know.
I did actually have to, like tighten my cap up. That's
Yeah, I don't see. I can't. I'll get a headache. I can't do that. So
yeah.
I gotta be able to get a couple of fingers in between. That's what she said.
Yeah, right. She probably
yeah.
did say that very thing.
Yeah.
So,
Well, cool.
Yeah, it was good stuff, and I really like the. I mean, obviously the camera did its job and all that, so. So that was cool, and then
Now you got to get that shit on the Prattle, or is it already?
no, it is. I'm suck at it. It takes me a long time to edit. It really does.
Yeah.
I'm editing the Kita footage now, and I was kind of wanting to get like, I've got to do an intro because one of the things the guys reminded me of is like a lot of the people are going to watch it don't actually. They may not shoot USPSA. They may just be casual shooters, and they don't understand because we were talking a lot of jargon, like USPSA and alphas and Mikes and Charlies and all of this other stuff, PCC, and so I'm going to actually make an intro saying, hey, this is what we're talking about. This is a PCC. This is a handgun. This is what we're talking about.
Oh wow, okay.
So that people, so that as it goes on, people don't get lost, and then the other thing that I'm going to probably do is it seems like that I think when I edit it, I'm going to maybe put in some pictures to show kind of the positionality and what walls we're talking about and things like that. So just we'll see if I can. Well, I mean, I hope to. And there's some dead air in it. I had to get off screen, and there's there were some tech issues that I need to cut out and smooth out. Maybe add a little bit of music to it or something. But yeah, I think it's gonna come out pretty good once it's all edited. But I didn't actually realize how much we kind of talk people's knowledge.
I've got to get serious at some point because I kick off again next Thursday, a week from tomorrow. I kick things off again, so I got to kind of do some brainstorming soul searching, war gaming, whatever, and kind of figure out how my format, how my flow is going to go.
Yeah.
Um, so, but I do things a little different. So I'm not even like you're all concerned with like pictures and all this other shit, and I'm recording for the audio world, so I could fucking care less about all that.
Well, I also want, I need to make
Like it's like what's
Yeah.
gonna make it more engaging, more entertaining, more fluid, all of that for the audio world. It's
when
kind of
you're when you're doing that, so I have a Spotify, I have an iTunes, and I probably have something else, but and I've had it for a long time.
yeah,
Because Jody set it up or Josie set it up for me.
yeah.
And so what are you using a separate software to convert the audio video into audio only?
My editor does it, so I'll take my video editor and I'll just rip. What I do is I'll edit down. Well, now that I've got the MacBook Pro, I'm using I'm using the same software. I'm using that MOVAVI or Movavi or whatever. Um,
You should look into
so
the DaVinci. It's really good, but
nah, I mean I get you, and yeah, it's fine. But I
it is,
use
yeah. So,
I used Cyberlink for the longest of times, and then I went to what did I go to? I went to this MOVAVI that I've been using forever. So like it has all the options anything else really has, and I'm used to using it. So
yeah.
when I got the MacBook, that's the first thing I did. I'm like, hey, I wonder if they got a version of this, because I did go and get the trial of what's the fucking Apple one, I think, or some Final Cut.
Yeah, I think you did
So I
Final
did go. So I did go get the trial of Final Cut, and I'm like, yeah, I got to kind of relearn shit, and like, I don't got time, and I don't want to.
Yeah.
Um, keyboard shortcuts, all of that you learn over the years. And at the end of the day, they all do about the same thing. But anyway, so I'll edit out. So I'll take and I'll chop the countdown because I've got like the 2 minute countdown timer. So I'll chop the countdown, and then I'll chop the dead space kind of in between the intro and when I come on, and I'll chop, any technical difficulties or like any long pauses or issues or whatever. I'll clean all that up a little bit, right? And it doesn't take long to do. You can look at the audio wave and do that pretty quickly, or I've gotten used to it.
Yeah.
And then I will take and I just render or export just the audio into a wave. Well, I did it. I don't know how I'm gonna do it now. I got to figure that out. But on the PC, I would do that in a wave, and I'd run it through a piece of software, which I have not looked yet. I'm glad we're having this conversation to see if it's available for Mac. But then I would take that wave file and I would run that through a very simple little program called Levelator. And what that does is that levels all of the audio.
Mm.
So, if you've got somebody, if you're a little bit louder than the guest, or, somebody gets a little loud or whatever, right? Or, the audio on the intro is a little louder than whatever. It levels all that.
Yeah. So
And then from there, I take that, and then I take that and then I'll convert that to MP3 and then upload the MP3 to my podcast host. And then from there, I've got it set up. It will automatically push out to literally every podcast deal on the planet. I noticed that my shit's even on Amazon. Like, I don't know, a few weeks ago, and I didn't even know that. I'm like, holy fuck! I didn't even realize. I didn't even realize Amazon did podcasts, let alone my podcast was being pushed over there.
I'll have to get with you offline and talk about that. I've been using Wondershare, which is a great by Filmora, which is a great video editing software.
I've used several things from Wondershare before. Yeah.
And it's worked really well for me. And then I bought the Blackmagic camera, and Blackmagic has their own movie quality, like
Mhm.
actual cinema quality editing software, and it's free for the basic. For
Mhm.
the it's not even the basic version. It's just like the pro version only allows you to work with like their higher end cameras, right?
Right.
And it has some built-in stuff around those cameras. But the free version is just it's way more than I need, but it's nice to be able to have all of that kind of built in.
Yeah.
So it's really good.
Well,
And
yeah.
I'm torn because I'm used to the Filmora. I'm used to Wondershare and I pay for it.
Yeah.
Um, but the DaVinci's free and it's easy to use.
Well,
And Black Magic makes a lot of accessories to
you
make it even
will.
easier to use.
So you will. You're kind of new to all this. You will eventually figure out what all you need,
Yeah, me
right?
personally, yeah.
And whatever works for you. I've been doing it, just being an IT for however many fucking years it was total. Um, I did my baby brother, and I don't even remember when he got married. It's been a long time ago. They may be going on 20 years at this point. And I say that they're probably going on more like 12 or 15. But I did like an 8 camera angle wedding video for him.
Wow.
It was pretty. He's got the bangingest wedding video I think anybody's ever had. But anyway, that was a fucking nightmare to edit, by the way. Took me like a year because I was trying to do it in spare time. But um, so I've been using all of that and doing that for a long time. Like with the business, I had a YouTube channel when YouTube first started and all that kind of shit, right? So I've learned over the years, and so I sit here and I'm hearing you talking about all these features and all this other stuff, and I'm like, at the end of the day, I just need what I use.
Right.
And everybody's got to figure that out. Like, what do you use? What do you actually need? And at that point, like, you're just the extras make no difference if you're not going to use them.
Yeah, for sure. For sure.
And you always think that you will, and you were like, oh, that will be nice to have. But if you're paying money for them or you're paying extra money for them and you never fucking use them, now knowing they're there is one thing, right? So like, I know what Final Cut will do. I know what Adobe Premiere will do, right? I know all of this. Sony Vega, I know what all that shit will do. If I need it, I'll go pay for it. I'll go buy it, right?
Yeah.
At that point, but I'm not going to until then.
Right. Yeah, absolutely. Why would
Yeah.
So
But yeah, everybody's got to figure it out because it depends on your style, how you want your video to be and go, and for the most part nowadays,
they're all
it's
really close.
the rawer, the better. Like the really highly polished channels and shit. When you're talking video, the really super high polished shit does not. I mean, look at TikTok. Look at like none of that shit's high polished, man. It is hard fucking cuts in between shit. It is,
TikTok is just like it's.
Oh, he's technically inept. That's his problem. That's a lot of his issue.
Well, his son does it all, and I mean
Big John.
Yeah, Big John does it all. I mean, it's fine, but at the same time, you're just like, wow.
And Big John is not super up to speed.
Right.
Have you heard any of his stand-up comedy, by the way?
No.
It's pretty good. It's pretty good.
Yeah, yeah.
But yeah, I think that whether you're talking about this channel, and I told you this for a long time, this channel's got some gold mine as far as the audio world goes. But I think that if you're talking about longer form discussion stuff, so you were talking half hour plus, you should be mindful of the audio, be tailoring what you say, what you do to be more conducive to that. And then you should be putting it all into the audio world, because I'm fucking telling you, like
That is where
it's great. It's great to like, oh, I've got a big YouTube channel, and it's great to, oh, I've got, but when you you know, the audio world is a completely different thing for that stuff, and you're going to get so much more fucking traffic. Like you put it up and you get several hundred views, you know, or whatever, maybe on a live stream replay here, you're going to get thousands upon thousands of downloads on the audio world. Like it ain't even close. And you know, it's monetized too. Like if you use the right host anyway, you know, you're able, you know, I use Podbean, and it's about time. It's about time. I think in June, I think maybe is when I say it's about time. I think in June is when I got to re up every year. But I think it's like 110 or 120 bucks a year. That's what I pay for that. And they're pretty much all turnkey in the dashboard. I mean, it's a matter of just flipping some switches, and you're on all the platforms. You're monetized. They, you know, they put all the ads in and pay you, and it's, you know, it's a done deal, you know.
Yeah, I mean, definitely that's the episode with Kita, the first one and this one I just did are definitely going into audio. The episode with Brian, it's 6 hours, but I think I can break it up into like hour chunks, and I think
Probably
it'll still
could.
be banger.
Yeah.
Um, and then
And that would give you two, if you had the two from her, and then let's say you took his and broke it into three, that would give you five. So that would be great for like an initial starting point. Because that's the other thing is people make the mistake, they'll get on a platform or whatever new, or get into a new arena or a new realm, and they'll post like one thing. And it's like, you don't want to fucking do that, because you want multiples. And the reason you want multiples is when you're new, somebody hits your channel and you just got one video, or you just got one podcast, or you just got one article, right? They look at that, they're fucking gone. There's nothing else to keep them there until the new shit comes out, right? If you've got 5 episodes, well, by the time they've listened to the 5th one, your 6th one's out. Make sense?
Yeah.
And the more you have, the better. So a lot of people will say put like 10 pieces of content out when you start.
That's probably a good plan. So I actually, give me 1 second. I want to read this. $2 comes in from Chronos 420. I want to see a clover tack beard on in my lifetime. Not really sure what that
beard on.
Maybe on me.
Oh.
Yeah, I will never.
That's correct. It's a lot of time, man. It's a lot of time.
It's too much commitment for me, man.
It is.
It's just too much commitment. I can't get. I get it. Like I get it to the point where it's nice and soft, and it's starting to like really like come in as a beard, and then I'm like, fuck it. I'm
There's to get to my point. I'm gonna guess. I probably had at least a dozen very awkward stages that I had to tough through. Like that's where people give up on long beards. Is they make 2 mistakes. Number one, they trim and they fuck with it, which the best thing you can do is good diet, exercise, take care of yourself, plenty of water, blah 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 blah. And you know, but instead they'll overwash, they'll over oil, they'll trim, they'll just fuck with it constantly, and like that's not good. And then the second thing that happens is they give up with the awkward stages. You know, instead of, because sometimes those awkward stages can last a month or two, and they will not fight through them. They'll give up. And then I guess, and then the third thing, because this is mostly when I talk to people that want to grow a longer beard, like they're in a situation where they can't, right? Like they can't go through that awkward stage, or they can't have it at a weird spot because of their job or whatever, you know.
I had a buddy of mine who was he got out of the military, and he's like, I'm going to grow a beard, and he started growing the beard, and he's like 3.5 months into it, starting to get a good, good scrub going, starting to really grow out. 4 months into it, he realized that he was 2 months away from getting married, and they were starting to do the pre pictures and all of that. And his wife's like, "You're not getting married with a beard."
Oh
And
man, that sucks.
he had to cut all that shit off.
So
After that, he was like,
if you
I'm not doing it again. He's like, "There's no damn way. I can't do it."
if you didn't know, my wife loves me. Um, and one of the reasons I know this, she tolerates the beard. Um, she understands the commitment I've made, especially at this point.
Yeah.
She understands it's not going anywhere, and honestly, she likes the attention and she likes how it makes me feel,
Yeah.
and that weighs more than she doesn't really like it. So, um,
My wife also,
she would never tell me to shave my beard. Never.
yeah. My wife does
Even
also
though she,
like it when I have a beard, but I've never had a beard. I've had
well,
like,
your wife, you need to just grow a Fu Manchu. Maybe she'll let you do
yeah,
that.
maybe that'll do it. So um, do you have a? I didn't know you had an issue with Mike Ball and his channel. I didn't. Did you have an issue with them?
No, that's part of my. When I go in over there, I always give them shit about being losers. All of them.
Oh, right. Yeah. What's up, losers? I say
That's
the
all.
same
Yeah,
thing.
yeah,
About it.
yeah. It's just stuck, and they rip back on me usually. You know, that's fine. That's fine. But no, I don't got. Mikey's awesome. I don't got a problem. Mikey,
Mikey is,
I'm a channel member over there.
yeah. Mikey is incredibly awesome.
In fact, that's about the only fucking time, unfortunately, I get to watch him anymore is when I catch the members only thing.
Mm, yeah. Yeah. I got to actually do some serious work on the editing. The problem is
I thought you was gonna say on your beard. Damn it.
no. I've got to I really got to put the time in on the editing. The problem is, Clover, I can't sit still. And so like I sat down to edit today and
Hire an editor.
I probably got like half an hour into it and I got a couple of things done. I didn't like it. And I started, kind of refining. And then I just went out and worked on my airplane.
So okay.
Garage,
So
then loaded the airplane in.
so I'm gonna give you a peek behind the curtain a little bit.
Yeah.
This goes back to all the bells and whistles and software you're fucking talking about.
Yeah.
I hate fucking editing. Like, if I could speak it into existence or afford to fucking just pay somebody to do it, or that's not really my issue because gun content, it's kind of hard to pay somebody to do it because odds are I would have to redo it because it's not going to be policy compliant because they don't understand that shit. But I hate it.
Yeah,
And so one of the reasons I don't do a bunch of bells and whistles with my editing and all the other shit is because I hate fucking editing.
yeah.
So the simpler, the better. Be quick, get it done, get the fuck out. You know. And one of the things that you learn with time, and this is why I was saying I really need to get my flow down before the show starts. Next week, how I'm gonna revamp or do, or if I'm even gonna do that, is the bet. And this is garbage in, garbage out, right? This is like, when you try to amplify bad signal, you get an amplified bad signal, right? So the more you can get, it right, done right in the first place, the less you got to do in post, right? The less you have to edit. So as you get better with, being able to turn on the camera, say what you need to say, turn it off, turn on the microphone, say what you need to say, turn it off, and not have a bunch of different takes or a bunch of different pauses or, anything like that, it makes the editing easier too. And all that just comes with time.
Yeah. I mean, the thing is the editing in and of itself isn't necessarily the big deal. It just gets to the point where I'm like, I just want it to end. Like or I get distracted and then I come back and I don't remember really what I was going for or something like that.
Right. Yeah. No, I get it. Well, that's another thing. Another reason I was telling you too when you were talking about like with what's his name, and you went, 15 fucking hours, however long it was. That's why I keep it short.
Yeah.
That's why I shoot for that hour range, and we're out. And it's the old saying, leave them wanting more. So if it's a good conversation, have them back, right? And as far as the viewers or the listeners are fucking concerned, they're going to come back when you have them back. So, like, what's the problem? And then for me, that's less I got to deal with, less I've got to try to dig through to edit or, anything like that. So, this to me, that's the way to go.
Yeah. All right.
Because, like you, I hate editing.
Yeah. I mean, it's just so,
Yeah, I hate it.
yeah.
Now, I will say this. So,
At the same
I
time, I don't trust anybody to do it. That the problem is that I just don't trust anybody to do it.
yeah, I've got that. I've got that too. Like I said, especially with the policy thing. If there wasn't really policy issues at play, I would probably give it a try. I'd probably get on Fiverr or something and like, what the fuck, like, spend a little bit of money and just give it a try and see what somebody can do. You never know. Or get in Discord and see if anybody, wanted to fuck with it or whatever. But then here's the problem with having somebody remotely to edit, is then you've got the logistical problem of all of the footage, right? So like somebody has to have access to your iCloud, or you have to try to pay and put it into a Google Drive, or you have to do this. And then when you start trying to move video files back and forth like that, you can potentially lose quality. You can potentially corrupt video, and then you got to re-upload stuff, and they got to try to re-download, and inevitably, you know, you film a video, and some stuff is straightforward, right? Like if you're just doing the news or something, that's like one thing. It's pretty fucking easy. But if you've got a theme, if you've got some kind of feel that you're going for with your video, like that. So like how they're not in your mind, whoever's doing the editing. So like how the fuck are they gonna get that across?
Yep.
With so it's weird when I hear that people have an editor, but a lot of people do. I mean, they make it work somehow, some way, I suppose.
They're out in chat talking about what beard I should grow. You know what I should grow, guys? If I were going to grow a beard, it would be a Van Dyke to a point, serious pointed Van Dyke with the small handlebar mustache. That would be that's how I would do it.
That could be cool.
Yeah, I want to look like Doc Holliday, but angry.
The Doc Holliday one, yeah.
Yeah.
Kronos was talking about Tannerite out there too.
Yeah, I saw that.
He actually got into some gun prattle.
Yeah.
I don't. As far as I know, Texas has no law on that. Kronos.
Well, I don't think Tennessee does. They sell the shit out.
But I do. I'll tell you how I do mine, and it's fucking amazing. If you know anybody that has a license to be able to buy, if they're a pyro guy, they have their explosives licenses and all that, like for fireworks and whatnot, to actually make them, right?
Yeah.
I've got a buddy that does pyro for like movies.
Yeah.
And he also builds big, huge commercial grade fireworks. Actually, some of his fireworks been used like in New York City and stuff.
Nice.
But I get supplies from him. He showed me how to make my own binary.
Oh, wow.
And it is way, 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 way better than any of the commercial stuff you're going to buy in the store. And on top of that, I usually do it in plastic skull cans, or snuff cans. And that size of a thing is about a 2-pound commercial tannerite boom. And I can set it off with an arrow.
Nice.
Yeah.
All right, so I've got $20 from Kronos 420. Grid would never beard. Here's the start of my bets on it. Thank you for the $20. I mean, nice. I have had a light beard and mustaches before. Just my wife, when I got married, my wife just doesn't like them. So yeah. But
Yeah.
the Iowa law changed from 48 pounds to unlimited in the last few years. There is a limit on gunpowder that you can have. I didn't know that. In a lot of states, there's a limit on how much gunpowder you can have.
Texas does have that. I know for a fact it does. And then that's all I'll say on that.
Yeah.
And then no comment from there.
Yeah, no comment further, but I know that I know that such a law exists.
It's not enforced. I can pretty much tell you that
Right.
it's not. I've never heard of anybody getting busted for having too much gunpowder
Oh,
ever.
Amy's. Oh, yes, yes. You were in the Huge X Arms booth.
Nice.
We were talking about shotguns, and actually, it's interesting because I was literally just talking to my son tonight about when they're going to start practicing as a team on school, and I guess it's after the after not spring break, but something they've got some holiday that they get like a 2-day weekend or something or 3-day weekend, and they're going to start after that. But yeah, awesome.
Yeah.
Huge X, yeah, that's I believe Turkish company that makes what looked to be very nice and well priced competition double barrels.
Over unders. Yeah.
The over unders, yeah. So
Yeah. Unless you go really, really expensive, there's not, to my knowledge, there's no over unders made in the U.S. anymore anyway. Unless you want to spend 15 plus grand.
is Ruger making their new red labels here?
You know what? Now that I say that, but I'm not sure where there's a made. We assume they're made here, but they could be made in Canada or some shit for all we know.
Yeah, I'm not really
I
sure.
haven't looked into it. If they're made here, then that would be the only one that I'm aware of, and that's a $3,000 shotgun too.
Well, I thought they started at less. They started like 2, which is like where the Browning Satori started.
Oh, okay. Well, I mean, okay, too, but it's not.
Well, it's a
It's not a sub $1,000 shotgun,
No,
or
no.
even a $1,200 or $1,500 shotgun.
Yeah, we haven't seen that since Stevens and Harrington.
And I don't know how good the new red labels are. The old red labels are pretty banging, but I don't know the new ones. I don't
has a
know.
red label, and I offered to buy
Like
one.
if you look at the Colt snake guns, right? When they brought them back, they're not near the gun the old one. People were saying
Yeah,
that it's going to destroy the market on the old ones, and I'm like, man, have you ever shot an old one versus the new one? Like, no, it doesn't.
it's interesting because the difference that I felt when I shot because I'm not a revolver guy, so I'm not an expert. I'm not the guy to talk about what the what a revolver should or should not feel like. I mean, I've got some, and I've enjoyed them over the years, but I'm not Michael Bain who knows everything there is to know about a revolver. But I have a friend who has an original Colt 357 Python 6-inch, a 6.5, something like that. It's a it's a cop gun, and with this all stainless, beautiful gun, and it's like a bank vault when the cylinder closes. I mean, it's such a really great gun when you shoot it. But that was a custom shop gun. Like as far as I know, every single one of those went through the custom shop, and so they were all hand fitted. They were all hand tuned, and so what you got effectively was an off the shelf custom firearm.
Yeah,
and they were trying to do that, running them through the Colt custom shop with the new snakes. But my understanding is that the custom shop had kind of evolved into not really the custom shop like it used to be.
right.
It
Yeah, it's not.
actually didn't have a lot of the same equipment that they had back in the day. They didn't have the stuff to fit things and
or the personnel, the artisans that that's a dying thing, right? And I don't give a fuck what it is. That's part of why they say, the old adage, they don't make them like they used to. Part of the reason that they don't make shit like they used to is the people ain't around no more that know what the fuck they're doing.
Yeah. And the other thing is so I watched a thing on Jesse James the other day in Texas.
Mhm.
He's in Austin, and they was talking about these custom guns that he makes, and he made one for
Mhm.
Elon Musk, and he's made one for a bunch of people. And he's got a new version of the 2011 coming out that's going to be that they're getting a patent on because it's so different.
Mhm.
And they're works of art. But he was talking about how there's only one engraver in the United States that they use. They have two in Austria, one in
Mhm. Probably.
Italy, and one in like Japan or somewhere. And they have
Yeah.
and one
Yeah.
single engraver in the United States that they feel comfortable using.
Yep.
And
Yep.
that is
There
crazy.
is there is very few of anything here anymore. And here's what's interesting. People will shit on the Turks and the Turkish stuff a lot of times.
Yeah.
But here's what's interesting over there is their facilities will put the best facilities here in the US to shame.
Well, see, I had the same experience in
They
China.
are the most modern, up to date fucking facilities that you will find in the world, let alone in the U.S. Over there in Turkey. And what's interesting is that in the same building, you have dozens of artisans, like literal fucking people that know what they're doing,
Hmm.
checkering, engraving,
Yeah.
all of this other stuff, right? And
I had to learn how
so
to checker for myself. I wanted a
yeah,
grip checkered,
uh-huh.
and there was literally nobody in the area that actually did
And
hand
the
check.
tools to do it are not fucking cheap.
Well, they're not expensive either for a basic
Well,
set, but
depends
every
on
once
how
in a
many
while,
depends on how many you get, but
yeah,
yeah,
they're,
yeah,
they're
yeah.
just that you
If
need
you're
like
just getting for one pattern, you're fine. But yeah, if you want to gunsmith or do that for a living, yeah,
yeah,
it's going to be expensive by the time you get them all.
yeah, and I tried it back when I was a young man, and I didn't have the patience for it. But I don't know where the tools are now, but I got into it and I learned how to checker. And you're right. I mean, it's kind of a it's not that it's a dying art; it's an ignored art. Like like people could do it. But I had the same experience when I went to China, looking at engine parts and having them made.
Yeah.
The factories I visited here in the U.S. were out of date. They were
Hmm.
dirty.
Yep.
They had broken equipment. Just not. They didn't look professional. Right now, I,
Hmm.
I think that's changed a little bit because a lot of those companies have
Yep.
gone out of business and been bought out. Now they've been modernized and all that. So I'm not going to say that. I mean, obviously, there's things are cyclical, right?
Well,
But
yeah.
when I went to China, I mean, I went to this factory where they make pistons and cranks and connecting rods and all this stuff, and it was like a hospital in there. It was
Yeah.
absolutely clean.
Literally eat off the floor. Literally eat off the floor in a machine shop.
Yes, and you could
Yeah.
tell what everyone did by what they wore. Like
Yep.
if they made connecting rods, they wore blue shirts.
Uh-huh.
If they made crankshafts, they wore red shirts, right?
Yep.
It was so interesting. And their QC people, they had
Yep.
like some of the best QC equipment in the world.
Yep.
And I was
Yep.
actually really shocked at it. And it's interesting because, to be honest with you, the cost difference between having it made in the US versus China was not hugely significant. It wasn't like I was saving a ton of money per piece. The difference is in the way that China is able to do this, at
Yeah.
least in engine parts, is they make a shit
Sure.
ton of it, and then they have varying levels of quality control.
Well, yeah, and you'll see in the gun world, you'll see a lot of optics, like a lot of optics come from overseas, right? And so you really got to be mindful of like what it is, because
Yeah.
there are companies making certain things that cut corners big time.
Oh yeah.
And there are companies that let's say the shop you were talking about that made automotive parts and then made really good automotive parts also make 173 different other things that ain't worth a shit.
They made helicopter part. They made all kinds of stuff. Anything.
Well, I'm talking about they make 173 other little whatnot fucking sold at Walmart things that ain't worth a shit, is what I'm telling you. And the reason they ain't worth a shit is because the stuff they give a shit about is the automotive parts,
Well,
right?
well, actually, it's actually simpler than that. I'll get to that in a second. Charles Darwin says China steals IP, then they send stuff back at 1/10 the cost. No, China doesn't consider it stealing because they don't have IP. They don't have the concept of IP, right? It's like trying to explain, going into a communist country and explaining democracy, right? Like they're going to stare at you. They're like, why? What is that? And so it's they don't, and shockingly, I actually, because I'm an American, I thought that everybody was like all bound up about IP, but the Japanese aren't. The Japanese don't give a shit. The as a matter of fact, most of that side of the world don't care anything about IP. There is no such thing as IP.
Yeah.
There is in the West, because that's how people are able to make money, is off of
Yep.
their ideas, and you can't do that in China. You have to do it with manufacturing. But so what I found, and I'm sure it holds true today. I swear it has to, because you can't have products like you can't have products come out like some of the stuff that's made overseas, like SIG and some of these other red dots that you hear no problems, they never have a failure, none of that.
Yeah, right.
And I've had you can't have those same optics come out of the same and they come out of the same factory as you have a 1 in chance shot of getting a good one, right?
Right. Yeah.
So this is why that is. What I found to be the case, and it was made very clear, and I think it was only made clear to me because I had a Chinese wife, and her dad was, at the time, he was an important person, and so they did not want to offend me. Otherwise, I think they probably would not have told me as much as they told me. I can't be sure about that. I don't want to disparage anybody. I'm
Right.
just saying. But you remember Sears Good, Better, Best?
Yeah.
That's absolutely fucking true in China. If you pay for a 10-cent part, you're getting a 10-cent.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
100%. Like, do not expect to, like in America, for some reason, we have this idea that we ought to pay for $5. We pay $5 for a $25 part.
Right.
And that's just not the way it works in the rest of the world. And, but it's crazy. We're crazy here. We're literally, we've gone insane in many ways. And, it's a very interesting dynamic. And so, like, with the parts that I was doing, you basically you pay for good, better, best, and you pay for QC. So you could have QC where 1 out of 100 parts is tested, or you could have QC where 1 out of 1,000 parts is tested.
Yep.
And so, what do you want to do? And I have good stories about, while I was in the industry, I saw the direct effect of that. And so I don't have a problem dealing with China. I don't have a problem buying Chinese made stuff, as long as I understand who had the part commissioned, right? Like, and I'm going to be honest with you. Like, I personally won't buy a Delta Point. I personally won't buy one. I've seen so many fail when they really, like, when it was like really important, that I will not buy a Delta Point.
It comes down to, and it sounds like what you're talking about is it depends on what type of oversight and control is going on to an extent.
What you're paying for,
right?
How much you're paying.
Well, that's true, but also there's got to be that has to do with paying attention to like the details and shit. And so that is where taking it back to the Turks, right? And all of the firearms that come out of Turkey, that's where you see it really is up to the importers here in the United States.
Yeah.
So the importers, all the ones I know, they go to Turkey on a regular basis. They're constantly in communication with them to let them know, hey, we need this many, like you're talking about the QC. You guys need to check. Oh, well, okay, we've got samples. Okay, we need to change this tolerance to this or that tolerance to that, and there's all this input. So what happens, and where the Turks have gotten a bad rap in the past, is because of shitty import companies. So what happens is, Grid can go out and file some paperwork and become an importer.
Yeah.
And then Grid can start a LinkedIn account for that importer, and he'll get hit up with 40 billion Turk, companies wanting to sell him guns, right? And he can buy those guns and he can import those guns, but if he hasn't given any input into them, who knows what kind of shit you're going to be selling, right?
Yeah, and that is how that works. And
so I told you, I think I told you SDS Arms.
Yeah.
Because at the night shoot, that's what I've spent most of my time sitting on the patio talking to the guy. SDS Arms literally has a full-time guy that lives in Turkey. He lives in Turkey full time, and that's his job, is to basically walk around the factory, make sure things are up to snuff, and like the company wants them, or the import company wants them, and make sure that the Turks are doing what basically what they're getting paid to do, right?
Right. Well, and that's and so it's an interesting thing. Stand by, my camera's being weird. Oh no,
I can't tell. So
it seems frozen on my end.
Oh, maybe.
Yeah, it's frozen. It's all right. It may it very well could.
Mine's frozen too. Shit, I ain't moved in an hour. What the hell?
Yeah. All right. Anyway, so you don't have a camera up, so
I know. Fucking we.
So what I found is that especially in like China, for example, whatever you pay, whatever level you pay for, that's what you're going to get.
Yep.
So and so if you're paying for a very high end what am I thinking of? If you're paying for a very high end quality control, that's what you're going to get. But and that's true in China. It's especially true in China because you cannot. I cannot explain to you in enough detail about how it just is a fact that, and they're not. It's not that they're trying to take advantage of you. It's not that they're bullshitting you. If you pay for X, that's what you get, exactly what you pay for. And then again, in America, we're used to paying for one thing, and then it's shit, or getting more than we pay for, right? Like and no other country seems to operate that way. And so I have a Turkish shotgun and I'm trying to think what it's called now, but it's a gas gun. It's a clone of maybe no, it's a
Mossberg clone.
Yeah, it's kind of a Mossberg gas gun clone.
Yeah.
And it's actually a really decent.
That's basically the only two they do. Well, they do the AR style and the AK style ones, but hunting style, sporting style shotguns, it's usually either the M4 or the Mossberg.
Yeah. And it's one of those things where I had it's never not fired. Like it's never not worked, but nothing. I mean, it's got all different threads, so you can't really use any accessories on it.
It's older then, right?
Yeah, it's an old gun. I mean, I've had it for
everything now is standardized. Like the Mac 2 tactical wood I've got, it is any option, any accessory for M4 will fit it. Yeah. But what's weird is I've got a Gerson. I've got the MC 312 Sport, which is an amazing shotgun, and it's an M4 clone. But here's the fucked up weird thing about it. It is standard as far as the action is M4 and everything, but the tube The threads on the tube cap, like if you want an
Yeah.
extension,
Yep.
is Remington is 870.
Yeah. Yeah.
And the stock is an 870. like
I
like
believe it. That sounds very much like exactly what I kind of went through.
but it's standard. At least you could get it. Like if you know that, at least you could get parts for it, right? But you are right in that prior to even that, the Turks have evolved to where now you go get something, it's probably going to be 100% compatible or almost, and especially with accessories, right?
Right.
Threads and whatnot. But as you go back through time, again, it gets worse and worse. So if you've got something, let's say especially the early-ish 2000s to 2010, maybe 2015-ish, who fucking knows what the threads are and what and well
No,
fitted.
for sure. So we've got from Kronos, it says, Clover talks shit on my fashion choice, IWI Jericho 941. Granted, I wanted it in 45 ACP. I welcome the CZ shitting.
I can't. The 941's awesome, dude. I'm not gonna shit on the 941.
Yeah. The only problem with CZs are
now if it's an IWI, I'll shit on that a little bit. It should be an IMI, but other than that,
the only problem I have was CZs are the 75s and the 75 clones, because they're really, for whatever reason, they're stupid hard on the slide stop, and they break them, and they break ejectors or extractors. I forget which one breaks, but one of them break, and it'll just randomly break in the middle of a match or middle of practice or whatever. So if you don't have one, you're fucked. And we were actually talked about that the other night when Keita was here, because it's a well-known thing, right? So I you remember
the Tangs are a little better out of all of them. About all of that.
Yeah, they are.
But
they've had a long time to get it right.
I don't shoot my 941. I mean, obviously, I don't shoot any of my 941s or my 75s or even my 85, any of that stuff. A lot. I don't do competition. I don't run thousands and thousands of rounds through them or nothing. I ain't never had a problem at any of them.
Yeah.
But they're used for recreational. They go out and have a little fun, run a box through them, and put them up.
Yeah, for sure. He says, but grid pretty. Yeah, I know. But so have you?
I'm confused though. He said did he get a 941 in 45? Is that what he's saying?
What he said, or he wanted it in 45. I guess maybe they did. Yeah. So
did they make one in 45? That's fucking awesome.
I don't know. That would be. Do you remember back in probably like 89, 90, and a little bit before that? But I think I bought mine in 90. I bought a Taurus that was made in Brazil from the original Beretta.
And when did you buy it?
Probably 89 or 90, somewhere along in there.
It may have still been on the same equipment. Here's the fucked up thing that pisses me off.
Hold on. This is the thing. This is where I'm going. So I never liked my Beretta. The first 92 I had, I never liked it. It worked okay. It was a good gun, but it wasn't great. It wasn't particularly accurate, in my opinion. I just didn't like it. But I got the Taurus, which was kind of a mistake, because I thought I was buying another Beretta, but it ended up being a Taurus when it showed up. And that was just, it's just a remote gun. Back then we didn't have the internet where we could exchange pictures in a couple of minutes. I was just buying a gun sight unseen, more or less. And so, by the way, I didn't have to do a stupid background check then either.
Right.
But at any rate, so the gun shows up, go down to the gun store, pick it up. It's Taurus. I grumbled a little bit, but I went downstairs. I shot it, shot well. I liked it. Fit my hand a little better. It felt like, and I really liked that Taurus. About 5 years later, I had given that Taurus to somebody. I don't know. My brother. I may have given it to my brother, or I forget who I gave it to. And so I go to buy another one, and it is literally felt like a completely different gun. And they're like, yeah, you know what? The tooling wore out or whatever,
Yep.
and
Of
they
course.
and they
Yep.
and they had all new tooling, and they had changed it, and the
Yep.
safety wasn't the same, and it was very different. Yeah.
So yeah, I'll get to this day. I'll get if I have one of my Taurus 92s, and then I have a Gerson or Beretta or whatever. People will say, or the Daria or whatever it might be. People will go, oh yeah, Taurus. Taurus is basically it's a Beretta because it's built on Beretta machinery, and I'm like, no, that's like saying that a Taurus from revolver from back in the days of Smith and Wesson. Like, no, while they were built for a certain amount of time on that machinery, machinery goes out, tooling wears down and has to be replaced. How you monitor QC and tolerances matter. Yeah. And metallurgy is a thing. And so for a few years after Taurus took that over, yes, if you can get one in the first, I would say 5 years or so, then yes, you're getting essentially a Beretta. Right. However, all bets are off after that because of the aforementioned reasons. Yeah.
Right. Yeah, no, it was a great. I mean, honestly, I thought I liked it better than the Beretta.
That's not to say the new ones are bad. Like the newer 92s. I mean, I've got them both ways, right?
Yeah.
And there's not a huge difference in them.
I don't have a.
They're not a terrible gun, but the revolvers. The revolvers back in the day. I've got a Taurus 357. That is essentially a 686. Oh. And as a matter of fact, I think it's called a Taurus 68, or it's called a Taurus 86.
That sounds like what Taurus would do.
What model is it? It's
TT92.
Yeah, it's a very similar model number. But anyway, I can't remember off the top of my head. But that's one of my favorite revolvers, and to this day, it still runs like a fucking top, dude. And it's one of my favorite. It's one of the reasons I don't own a 686. Yeah.
I'm not a revolver guy that much, but I do actually need to go shoot my Vaquero. Or Blackhawk. I don't have I have a Super Blackhawk, not a Vaquero.
Let's say Blackhawk has sights, Vaquero doesn't.
Yeah.
Or a rear sight. Vaquero doesn't.
Yeah. I've got to load up some 44 mag. Because the only 44 mag ammo that I could buy was like Winchester white box, and apparently that is very hot.
You say 44 mag. We were talking about snake guns earlier. Yeah, that's one of the few guns I actually shot at range day. Was the new optics ready Colt Anacondas?
Really?
Yeah. They were okay.
Well, they're heavy enough to be.
They were okay. Yeah. They were not. It wasn't an old snake gun. Like I said, I prefer the old ones. But
yeah. So let me ask you. So, like, do you enjoy shooting the bigger revolvers?
Not so much. It depends on what it is, right? 44 Magnum to me, I don't. It just depends on it depends on the revolver. It really does. So 44 Magnum. Trying to think if I've got anything. So my it's not a Super Red Hawk. It's just a Red Hawk. My Ruger Red Hawk, which is like a 7-inch barrel or something. It's a big motherfucker. Anyway, it does really well. And then I've got a Taurus. I've got a Taurus tracker, a 4-inch Taurus tracker that's ported. And once I swapped grips on it, it's not that bad. But for the most part, 44 Magnum to me is uncomfortable. That being said, again, in the right revolver, 460 Smith & Wesson. I love 460 Smith & Wesson. That is just I love that cartridge.
So
way more than 44 Magnum. It feels better to me than 44 Magnum. And a lot of it may be designed in the hand of the revolver itself that it's being shot out of, right?
So I haven't shot a 44 Magnum since I was basically in college because I just don't like it. And I've talked to people who have like 454 Cassells. They have the 500 Smith.
Yeah, 500 Smith's brutal.
And,
fucking brutal.
And you can't even shoot the gun without a bipod and a brake, right? Like you're basically shooting a rifle,
Right.
and it's just stupid. And it's not that I actually I do make fun of them, but it's whatever. So I got this 44 mag because a friend of my parents' family passed, and the gun went to them, and it's never been fired ever.
Yeah.
And then I ended up with it, and then of course I ended up with it during basically COVID. And
what is it?
It's a Ruger Blackhawk.
Oh, it's that Blackhawk. Nice.
Yeah.
Okay.
And so it's never been fired, and it's brand new. And so
that's a super Blackhawk though, right?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I'm going to go shoot the gun. So I actually had to ask. I asked in my community, I'm like, hey, does anybody have any 44 brass and maybe some bullets, and give me some recommendation on powder, because I think I'm gonna have to build some ammo for it, because there was no 44 mag ammo in the stores at all.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
And then when I did get it, I paid $60 for 50 rounds.
50 round box. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
That's about
$60.
Right.
And it may have been more than that. So the thing is, I thought, well, I'll get Winchester White Box. Winchester White Box never let me down. It's not the best, but it's not the worst, but it's never let me down. But apparently that's like some super hot 44 mag ammo, right? And so now I'm like, well, I don't want to go shoot this super hot ammo. Like, it's great to keep in the gun for.
Well, you should have got 44 special, but if you couldn't find 44 mag,
there was no 44 special. Now I have 44 special brass, and I have 44 mag, 44 special dies. And I just need to go. I need to find a load that is that's not weak, but just a pretty standard load. And when I was a younger man, actually in college, I had I had my first of the Dan Wesson revolvers that I love so much, which is a 357, but it's basically built on a 44 Magnum frame with the interchangeable barrel system, and I really loved it. I love those guns. I'll buy, and I have a disease where if I see it, I want to buy it. And fortunately for me, not very many people will sell them, but I just love those guns, and I'll buy the barrels or whatever. So, but I used to shoot a lot of super hot 357. I mean, just ridiculously hot 357, to where like there were people who thought that I was shooting a 44 Magnum because it was so smoking hot.
Right.
But I don't like 44. I don't know. I think it's just that it's such a big, heavy bullet that I just don't like it.
It's not the bullet, and I'll tell you why I know it's not the bullet. Is one of my favorite to shoot in old school, talk about old school and OG, is 4440.
Okay.
But 4440 is more a picture of 45 Colt in 44 caliber, right?
Right. Yeah.
And it is so much different than even a 44 special.
Really?
Yeah. It is so much fun.
Have you ever done?
And I will typically buy the loaded ammo, factory ammo I've got for it is MagTech makes a cowboy load, and then I'll do my hand loads are that way. I'll cast my own lead and do my hand loads, basically a copy of those. But I love that cartridge for sure.
Yeah. So let me ask you a question, because you're a good guy to ask about this, because I've always wondered this. So if you were to buy one of the 4540 or 45 long or they're not 45 long Colt, but 45 Navy revolvers, and did the cylinder conversions,
Ooh, yeah.
are the guns too light to actually? Because I know that a bunch
Yeah,
of
you
the
don't want to use modern. You'll have to load. Yeah, you'll have to
yeah,
load. You
yeah.
can't use
But I
modern.
know a lot of the guys that shoot like cowboy action. That's the only way that they can get
Yeah.
kind of a period correct gun is
I've
to
got
buy
a
a black powder gun and then switch it over to
and
using a cylinder conversion.
do the conversion. Yeah, I've got a 38 conversion.
Do you really?
Yeah, yeah.
What's
I've
it?
got
So
a
if you were going
I've
to
got
do
a
that,
38
what? So
conversion.
because I have no experience in this area at all. So this is like but I would, like I actually would like a 38 or whatever Navy revolver, right? Or one of the early Schofield type revolvers or something like that.
Uh-huh.
I would like those would be cool guns to have around, but I don't want to. I hate black powder pistols. I love black
Well,
powder.
Schofield's going to be cartridge,
Well, I mean, I guess I'm using the
but
wrong gun,
I get what
one
you're
of the
saying.
yeah, the old Navy revolvers or Army revolvers.
Navies or the dragoons or something.
Yeah. And
Yeah.
I know that, and so I
You
see
need a
that,
walk. You need a walker, and you could afford one because
so
that'd be badass.
the Walker Colt, yeah.
Yeah.
So I know that like Uberti and there's another brand, and they both make a ton. Pieta, thank you. They make a ton of replica black powder revolvers, and then there's a couple of different companies that make cylinders that allow you to change it from black powder to cartridge.
Yeah,
and
they're a pain in the ass, but yeah.
Are they really?
Well, because
that's what I'm asking you. I'm curious.
Yeah,
so have you done it, and are they?
Yeah.
Is it worth it?
So you gotta. So basically, so here's the thing. So you got to swap out an entire cylinder. You don't have a loading gate, right? Like,
yes.
So you got to swap out an entire cylinder. So it depends.
Yes.
Like the one I've got, the Pieta that I've got in 38, it has a loading gate. Okay, because you could flip the loading gate to put your caps on, right?
Yes.
So therefore, the cylinder you can actually load it. A lot of especially the larger ones, the 45s.
Yeah.
A lot of those are not that way. They don't have a loading gate. So if you don't have a loading gate or a slot or a cutout there, then what you have to do, the cylinder is it has a cap on the backside that has the firing pins on it. So the hammer drops, hits that firing pin, which hits the one in the car. You feel what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So you have to pop the entire cylinder out, take that cap off, and then reload, and then put the cylinder back in. So depending on what type of setup you go with, it can be kind of a pain in the ass. Now, when you're talking about the cowboy action guys you're talking about,
well, they carry those guns.
Those fuckers, no, a lot of them will have multiple cylinders.
Yeah.
And they can swap a cylinder like in 2 seconds or some shit.
Yeah.
Like they've got it down, right? And so they just carry multiple cylinders that are loaded. It's kind of like having a speed loader that you put into the revolver, basically.
Right. Well, I've seen people change cylinders, and I understood that was part of it.
Yeah. Yeah. But that's how they all work.
Yeah. So, Chronos.
But you definitely got to have cowboy load, really light ammo with those when you do that. Especially if it's brass frame, and my 38 is brass frame.
Yeah, I think. Yeah, so I've seen brass and steel frame revolvers. So okay.
So I load all of mine.
Which brand was better? If it's Pieta, Uberti, because
I say Pieta for the conversions, man.
Okay.
Now that being said, no, Uberti wouldn't be. That being said, Cimarron. Sometimes Cimarron, you will find can be cheaper than a Pieta, and Cimarrons, they're built by Pieta.
Oh, really?
So, yeah, which is really weird. Like Cimarron,
I'll have to look
Cimarron designs them basically around, classic guns. And then they have Uberti or Pieta typically build them. But
Yeah.
my 38, I will load it. So I cast for it as well, and I'll load it. And I'll load it just hot enough that the primer doesn't back out. That's basically how I do it.
Wait, just hot enough? So, I mean, that sounds pretty hot if the primer is backing out.
No, just hot enough that it doesn't back out.
Oh, I got you. Okay.
Because so here's the thing with a revolver, and maybe you didn't know that revolvers work this way. It's possible. So if you've got a really light load in a revolver, so pressure goes to the weakest spot, right? So if you've got a light load and you've got a heavy bullet and then you've got a primer in the back of the case, right?
Yeah.
So it'll push that primer out a little bit, right? Well, what happens when you push a primer out a little bit in a revolver? You've just locked the fucking cylinder. You've just locked the cylinder up, right?
I have had that happen.
So that's the key with a revolver is it has to be, you have to make sure that the pressure and it's loaded right and the pressure's right where the primer stays put.
Yeah, let me read this super chat really quick. $2 from Kronos 420. Let's fucking go. Constitutional carry states. Some are better. That's true. And the question about ghost guns. Charles Darwin says, I still don't understand ghost guns.
They're spooky, man. They're spooky.
Don't they need a barrel and bolt to work? So they have barrels. But
yes, they do.
Ghost gun is not a real thing. Ghost guns are not like a real. I mean, it was a term that came out of California because they were building Glocks. With the Polymer 80 Glock came out, and that's and there's actually a machine called the Ghost Gunner that machines AR-15 lowers. It's a CNC program. You put the 80% lower in there, you hit print, and it cuts it for you while you go have a sandwich. And
uses the software the programming from Defense Distributed. Yeah.
Yep. Yes, it does. And it
so you can 3D print. People have done it. I've seen it done. You can completely 3D print, except for, and we're talking about a single shot, but you can 3D print a gun that will go fucking bang and will send a projectile downrange. Problem is, it's going to do it one time.
Yeah. Well, so I have a buddy of mine who has 3D printed several Glock frames.
Well, no, I'm talking about the complete gun. I'm talking about the barrel and everything. Like you can do a short enough ghost gun, start to finish, all on a 3D printer, but you're gonna get one shot and that's it. And I'm not gonna be the one pulling the trigger on it.
Yeah, I have a So I have a
look up the Liberator. That's a good one to look up. You'll kind of know what I'm talking about.
I'm not gonna throw anybody under the bus, but I know a guy who may or may not have tried to clone the Glock ceramic barrel, metal detector passing.
Yeah. Which is all pointless.
It is pointless. And I don't know that he ever actually got it to work because machining the ceramic isn't hard, but I don't know they ever got it to work. But it doesn't matter. Look, the whole ghost gun thing is just press. So,
if you want to see some cool stuff, I don't remember who asked that. Yeah. But if you want to see some cool,
he's like, you can't print a barrel of gold, but those aren't serialized items. So I've got a stack of barrels. I carry spare bolts around all the time.
Right.
I don't have one in here right now. Do I? No, I don't. I don't have one in here right now, but I mean, I have mini guns with no serial numbers.
Oh yeah. I've got factory shit with no serial numbers.
Clover throwing shade on the French resistance. No, he's not. Thanks for the $2, Kronos. Really appreciate that, man.
So for Charles, go look up Maker's Match when you get a chance. Maybe Instagram, Facebook. I'm not real sure where They have a presence. But that is a match they do every year that is multiple categories, and it's all 3D printed, ghost gun, whatever you want to call it, homemade stuff. There's some cool shit in that Makers match, like some cool shit, people, and totally one-off, right? Like,
Right.
and there's some really cool stuff. But to the point, since we're talking about this whole idea of ghost gun, I don't know if you've ever done it, Grit. I certainly have. I can go to the hardware store literally tomorrow, there when they open, spend $20, and in about 2 hours, I've got a shotgun.
Mm-hmm.
So, like, it's not hard, even without 3D printers and mills and other shit, to build a gun. and a pretty fucking reliable shotgun at that, I must say.
I have not done that, but I have seen the recipe for doing that.
Yeah, it's not hard.
So when I was a younger man, like actually I wasn't even a man, I was a young kid. My stepfather and his brother were demonstrating how you could use and this was an actual jack, guys, that used to come in cars that had metal bumpers. You could use a bumper jack as a 12 gauge shotgun.
Yeah.
Yeah. It was very funny.
Yep.
So, yeah. Anyway, but yeah, you Aussie guys, but you Aussie guys also have like no uncontrolled suppressors, which we will hopefully have here soon. So, did you know that? Have you been following the stuff going on in New Jersey with the SBR stuff? That looks like it's going to really be really be interesting.
No, I haven't looked.
They have an en blanc panel coming up with their state Supreme Court because the Supreme Court has ruled that states cannot ban SBRs.
Right. Yes, correct.
And
that was their move when they eliminated the $200.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
was all these states went nuts and started trying to ban them.
Yep. So New Jersey, California, New York are on the hit list.
Yeah.
New York is going to be probably the last to go because what their tactic, much like California, is to lose in district court and then change the law and refile. So, it's just a circular motion with them, but I think it'll eventually get to the Supreme Court and they'll put an end to it. But, New Jersey's actually called an en blanc panel of their state Supreme Court to hear it, and there's a lot of civilian support to get to unban the SBR. So that will be very interesting to see if New Jersey, of all places, comes into the light. So it's gonna be interesting. But yeah. There's a lot of cool stuff going on. Not that you care, but I got an email day before yesterday about the SBA will no longer loan to a business that is owned or that is being bought by a green card holder. Even if they're a partner and you have a U.S. citizen, you cannot. They will not approve your SBA loan if you are a non-citizen.
Right.
$2 comes from Kronos 420 again. Clinton's behind bars by 4th of July bets.
Nope.
No, they are gonna. I mean, they'll get a slap on the wrist. And the problem is I honestly don't see anything absolutely illegal in what they've done that they can be charged with currently.
Even if they murdered somebody in the public square in the street, what are you talking about?
Probably not. Yeah, that's probably you're not awfully wrong about that.
Come on.
Yeah. So so if you are a LPR, which is a legal permanent resident, which, by the way, they were trying to argue that because you're a permanent resident, you're as good as a citizen, but no, you are not. and you can always leave the country. And while you are a green card holder, you still have the citizenship of your original country. And that is the problem, I think, where with the LPRs for the SBA. And the SBA has said that you cannot get a loan, an SBA loan. You will not qualify if you're not a U.S. citizen. All SBA-backed businesses have to be 100% American-owned. So there you go.
Nice. Somebody out there asked about the Christ converters. They're solid. Definitely an option. If you're looking at doing that.
I have some. I may have to send you this offline because I'm 95% sure this pushes the envelope, but I will describe it. There is I may or may not have purchased something that looks exactly like a cartridge style trigger with an integrated drop-in auto sear. It looks exactly like it. I don't think it functions exactly like it, but it looks exactly like I was looking at it. I'm like, that looks really familiar to me.
Right.
And it's being sold as an FRT.
Right.
And I may or may not have bought one. If I did, it would be awesome to eventually get it so that I could.
Getting it and determining how it works, like that's going to be the thing. Like when I got the super safeties, once I got them installed, and I really got to, and when you install them, you get a really good sense.
Very, very clearly not
how they work. Yeah. But when you look at how they, if you look at how the things work, I mean, you can pretty quickly determine if it's going to be a problem or not. You know, but that's one of the risks that you run too, is you take a company's word for it that, hey, this is an FRT, and it's like, is it, or are you just saying it is? Like,
and I'm very much hoping that they send it standard U.S. mail with no receipt of delivery.
Right.
I'm just saying,
right.
I ordered it.
Well, they got when the ATF raids them, they've got your shipping address anyway.
Right,
so
well, that's why when they show up, I'll be like, I think I got scammed. They never sent me anything.
Right. Like, I didn't get it. I don't know what you're talking about. Yeah.
Yeah. Do you have a signature? Do you have any of that? Okay, good. I don't want to talk to you more. But I've got the super safeties. I got the Glock super safety. I don't think I'm going to use the Glock super safety because there's no way to turn it off.
Yep.
And
I want control, selectability, and control.
Yeah, I feel like that's something that I would keep in like a spares kit as a break glass in case of insurrection.
Yeah, no, absolutely.
And I have more than one Glock, so I just have to remember which one has the fun stuff and which one's standard.
Right.
So what do you think about do you think the ATF is being significantly weakened at this moment?
No.
You don't think so?
I don't think so. ATF is not ATF, and I say that the ATF right now is not our problem. Fucking Pam Bondi is our fucking problem right now.
Pam Bondi is all over the damn place. Honestly, if she would just pick a position and just stick with it, I would have a lot of respect for her.
Yeah, if she just fucking go away, I'd have a lot of respect for her too.
I know. So,
I don't get it, man. I don't know why. It just goes to show you that Republican, Democrat, two wings of the same dirty fucking bird, and politicians lie regardless, Trump is fucking not all that.
Well, it's interesting. I got in a discussion the other night and they're like, well, you just love Trump. And I'm like, no, I don't like Trump. He's a Democrat. And they're like, what? And I'm like, yeah, he's a Democrat. He was just the closest thing to a conservative I could get, right? Like, I didn't want him.
Well, here's the thing. So there's good things I could say about Clinton.
Sure.
Talking about Bill. I don't think I can come up with anything good with
Yeah, no,
Hillary.
I can't get anything about it.
but
The
with
only thing good about
Bill-
Hillary is she doesn't know who I am, and I'm not afraid of being suicidal.
But with Bill, there's some good things because when the revolution, whatever that you called it, happened in what was that, 96, I guess it was. He's a politician first and foremost, so
Yeah.
he played ball on a lot of shit, and as he probably should have. But but same way with Obama. Like Obama did some, and not with guns. I'm not talking about guns, but Obama did some good shit. But like, can we not look at a fucking politician as a fucking politician and go, oh, okay, they did this good. They fucking sucked at this. They did this. Why do we gotta completely?
Yeah. Why do I?
Why does it have to be all or nothing? Right?
Right. Yes. Why is it I have to love every single thing the politician does? I don't. It's a look. And you know what? And I was raging about this at the beginning of the show before my camera quit the first time. Maybe that's why. Maybe they pushed the button. But
right.
It was. Look, I don't agree with everything Trump does, but I agree with enough of what he does that it's fine. And when we go into this next election, you know what we're going to see is I don't care who we pick, Clover. I don't care who we pick. The left, immediately when whoever's picked, the left is going to come up with, oh, he cheated on his wife, he cheated on his taxes, he beat up a kid in the parking lot or whatever. Right. And the right will immediately go, oh my God. Oh crap. And then we got to find another guy. We got to find another guy. This guy, our purity testing is off the charts.
But it works. It works.
But it doesn't work the same way for the Democrats.
Yes, it does. Yes, it does. We're going.
Jessica Flowers, bro.
We're going over the cliff.
Jessica Flowers, bro.
We're gonna turn into a fucking communist country. We're gonna.
No, dude. I'm telling you,
the right does it just as bad, dude. The right does it just as bad. I'm telling you.
No, we don't. No, I wish we did it. I wish we did it as bad.
I ain't no we, because I ain't no flaming right winger.
I wish we could do it as bad, but we don't. The thing, Bill Clinton, Jessica Flowers. Bill Clinton, Jessica Flowers, right?
Yeah.
The right was like, oh my gosh, and we're like all shocked. The Democrats like, it's fine. Didn't purity test him, didn't care. Just like, no, we need this guy in there because he's going to do the job. And that's the difference between the left and the right.
Well, the right needs to start doing that and go, fuck it.
Again, we purity test our candidates like none of, and for no reason. I can't understand why. It's like I was on a panel.
Yes and no. So I've said this. I've said this multiple times. We don't win it. I think it's expedient to do so, and I wish that they would have purity tested, and I wish they would have dumped Kavanaugh. I wish I'd have thrown Kavanaugh under the fucking bus, but they didn't. So we got that.
Well, Kavanaugh seemed like a good choice, but he obviously was not. But okay, but let's talk about but I don't think he was. I don't think he did anything with that stupid ball.
That's why I said I don't necessarily do either, and that's why I said throw him under the bus. It wasn't worth it. It was not worth the fight they went to, and the long-term play I think would have been better to throw him under the bus.
Could be, but
the politically expedient play would have been to throw him under the bus.
Yeah, but we would have. I don't think we would have gotten anyone better than him, and as bad.
Well, we would have got Amy Coney Barrett out of the gate, and then we could have gotten somebody else.
Yeah, maybe. Anyway, but that's not what I'm really talking about. So
yeah,
if all right, so the right, and I'm talking about the normal right, not like people like me who sit around and talk about this shit all day and literally look at it from 18,000 different angles. I'm talking about your average Republican, half Republican, whatever they call themselves. All the left does, and I've watched this over and over, is that we find a guy that we like. We find what's his dick down in Florida, DeSantis, J.D. Vance, whoever, right? Like we find
I'm okay with Vance, but certainly not the other Yahoo.
Yeah, sure.
But yeah,
But I'm using it as an example. So
yeah, I
we
get you.
find a guy we like, and we're like, okay, this is going to be the next president. This guy, he's going to get in there. He's going to do work. Everything's going to be great.
Yeah.
Let's just say Nick Freitas, right? Or however you say his name, right? The guy from Virginia.
Yeah,
right?
I like him too. Yeah.
I love that guy.
Yeah.
If you put him up for president, the left would manufacture shit.
Oh, of course.
And the right, on the right, our side would purity test him and just be like, oh no, we can't have that guy. Not Fuentes, Josie, the good one. Freitas. However you say his name.
Yeah.
From Virginia. Yeah. He's a congressman now?
Fritas maybe, or something like that.
Yeah, it could be Fritas.
Something like that, yeah.
It makes
not
funny
Fuentes. Not Fuentes. No.
Fuentes.
Make that distinction.
But we put that guy in, and it doesn't matter how. And that's a good dude. He doesn't cheat on his wife. He doesn't beat his kids. He was in the military. He's funny as fuck. I mean, he's like the guy.
Yeah, he's pretty based.
And somebody would come up with that. You know, he went to a dance with a tranny in college, or he did this, or he did that, or while he was in the military, he shot. You know, he accidentally shot in the wrong direction at towards some undeserving kids that were playing out in the middle of a minefield, and he could have accidentally tripped one of them into the minefield or something. But whatever it is, they made up, and the right would, just like they did with Trump, just like they did with Bush, they would literally just sit there and go, "Oh my God, we can't have this guy in there. Oh my God. Oh, honey, did you see this? Did you? Oh, no, not this. We got to find somebody else." And the purity testing is ridiculous on the conservative side, and yet, and the reason that this came up and is so, it just burned in my mind right now, is I'm on a panel that debate the other night, and we're doing the pre-debate, right? And so I'm like, hey, guys, what do you think about this? And they all went nuts, and I'm like, the purity testing is insane on the left. They're like, well, Trump did this and Trump did that. And I'm like, yeah, but he's done a good job. Like, it doesn't, and none of that shit's been proven, right? You're just assassinating his character for the fuck of it. And it's just and one of the things is like, well, he's had sex with all these women and all that. And I'm like, well, so did Bill Clinton. So did JFK. JFK literally used the tunnels under the White House so he could go bang Marilyn Monroe, which, by the way, that's pretty baller right there. That's badass.
Well, bringing in his Cuban cigars too.
Whatever. So and LBJ was getting BJs in the White House. He's famous for it. Like it's not like it's new. Like these are powerful men, and they attract women, and some of them are weaker than others. And I'm just not. I'm like, I don't care. Like, he's a politician. I expect them to have some form of degeneracy. I don't like it. It's degenerate. I hate it. I would prefer the guy not be that, but I would rather him like bang supermodels than sell off all our oil reserves to fucking Cuba or something.
Or fuck with my gun rights.
Yeah. Yeah.
If pussy keeps him away from my guns, I'm all for it.
You know what I told him? Clover, is all I heard on that entire panel is every one of those motherfuckers is claiming that they would turn down pussy, and we all know that's a lie.
Mm-hmm.
That's a fucking lie. And not one of you. I said, no, one of you married. Like, you're not turning down pussy. There's no. Come on now.
Nope.
Nope. Like, come on. Yeah, don't tell me you're turning down pussy, especially like Marilyn Monroe.
Yeah, right. Uh-huh. Yeah.
So,
if she was still alive, I would do her right now. What are you talking about?
Right? I mean, it's just
she was that hot that she would still be hot at 100 or whatever.
Yeah, I mean, look, I'm not saying that, but I'm not hiring them to be clergy.
Right.
I'm hiring them to be the president and have some I mean, obviously I want some decorum, but you know, like I look at it the same way I would hire somebody else. What they do when they're off the clock, I don't give
The degree, I guess this is the way I view it, right? The degree of their moral compass, I think they need a moral compass, but the degree of their moral compass is not that important to me.
Yeah. Well, right. They need to have okay. I will say that in my mind, I have a very specific moral compass that I want them to have. I want them to stand by the
well, that would be the degree of their moral. That would be the degree of it, though.
Right.
That's what I'm saying.
And I'm just not interested in their personal degeneracy, right? Like,
well, I would prefer them not to murder people in the streets too. You know what I mean? Like,
well, that goes a little bit beyond personal degeneracy. But at the same time, I don't want them beating up hookers. Hookers are people too, and that's bad. You shouldn't do it.
True. Right. I would prefer they probably not be, rabid dope heads.
Sure. But the way it's going, you could put AOC could literally start an OF tomorrow if she doesn't already have one. We don't know.
Yeah.
She could start an OF tomorrow. You could, she could be the naked congressperson. Then in 2 years be running for president or running for VP, and the left would praise it. What really bugs me is that the same people who will sit there and say that Donald J. Trump's locker room humor with what's his degenerate ass Howard Stern. Those two guys talking bullshit to each other. The same people who say that you should not criticize OF girls. Don't put them down. Don't make them feel bad. Don't slut shame. There's no slut shaming. She's just got to get out there and get her bag, baby. The same people who don't give a shit about body count, who says it doesn't matter and everybody's beautiful and Bonnie Blue is a good human being and Lily Phillips, taking 1,300 cocks, which we figured out. What was that? It was like 175 yards of cock in 13 hours. That was fine. It's fine. All those same people sit there and clutch pearls over the idea that, Donald J. Trump might have said something, locker room humor. Fuck them. Right. Josie, what are you laughing at? Send the link. I'll send you a link. But I got to go to bed here in a minute. I don't know what, but I'll send you a link. What the hell? I think Josie might have had an accident.
It's possible.
Let's see.
Some things never change. She apparently stays up late still.
Yeah. I don't think Josie actually sleeps.
Has Glenn been live lately?
He was live the other day.
Was he?
Yeah, he does, but he's doing lives in a very particular way. He doesn't have guests. He doesn't, it's just
how's he doing?
I think he's doing better, but it's hard. Pardon me, it's really hard to say.
I haven't back and forth with him much. I may text him tomorrow or something.
Yeah. But yeah, it's I think it's very interesting, right? Like I am fairly anti-degeneracy, right? But there's a limit, There's
you won't even go to a fucking shot party, you prude.
Yeah, I mean, yeah. I mean, you're not wrong. It wasn't that I wouldn't go. Yeah.
You missed, especially that one. You missed major opportunities.
I did, and next year I will do. I will do better.
I get turning down going to the strip club, the gentleman's establishment.
Yeah,
I get it. I get it.
Guns, I should have gone the guns.
But that party you should have went to.
I
That was
should've-
not. That was not. That was not that.
Yo.
What is up, Juicy?
Shit. Hold on. I got my echo. That's gonna.
You sound fine to me.
Sorry, I had
Yeah,
like
we-
the stream, and then the stream. I was like, oh no, this is gonna mess up my brain. Okay.
Well, we don't want
My
that.
sound is okay.
Yeah.
Should be good. Test.
I don't know. Josie with a messed up
Think
brain
I'm
might be
right?
fun.
Chat. They're gonna tell
Josie
me.
with a brain.
But yeah,
If I
what you were
only had
saying,
a
the pearl
brain.
clutching. Oh
Blondes.
my god.
Blondes,
Facts.
man.
Facts, the pearl clutching. I'm just like, I just think it's fun.
Right. So Josie, you were about you laughed loudly in the
What happened?
chat. What was that all about?
I can't hear.
You can't hear me? Everybody else can hear me.
I hear you.
So
I hear
Josie,
you.
if you can't hear me over there, or if you can hear me, blink.
Great, I can't hear.
Okay.
What's going on?
You need to select your speakers, but you can't hear me tell you that.
Side chat.
Open the YouTube link so you can hear me.
Shit.
Yeah, but she gets an echo when she does that. She said, "Fuck, it's getting cold."
Well, when she speaks. Oh, she's gone.
She did that the other night. Everybody's having tech issues. What the fuck?
Yeah. I may have to do a clean ins. I may have to like delete a bunch of shit and do a clean install. Which is not a big deal, but probably need to do it anyway. She's a Zoomer who can't tech. Yeah. Look, man, thinking is hard. Not everybody should do it.
Thinking it's hard. You know, somebody said that Freitas or whatever, you know, he didn't run for again, and you know, with he seems to be doing really well since.
Can I have your attention, please? Sorry.
Yeah, we can hear you.
Yeah, finally. But he seems to be doing really well in the wake of the Charlie Kirk thing,
Who's that?
that Freitas or whatever.
Oh, Freitas. Yeah, Freitas.
Freitas, whatever.
Yeah. Well, he's I like that guy a lot.
His podcast is really ramped up, and he's you know, of course, you know, Kirk being on that created a huge vacuum. So, you know,
yeah.
multiple
Well,
people have kind of it sounds bad. I'm going to use the word benefited from that. That sounds horrible to say, but you get what I mean.
Yeah, they've stepped up. So Josie, you were laughing in the chat about something. What were you laughing about? Just can't hear
What
me.
did I bust out laughing of?
I don't know. You were the one laughing, not me.
Yeah, no, that it was about like the pearl clutching. That is just like you like smash this person, you bad, mean, let's pearl clutch, and I'm just like,
Well, it's the people on the left that'll literally sit there and say, "Oh, she did 15 guys. You go, girl. You a bad bitch." They'll say, you know, or you know, some dude, you know, like, I actually can't think of anything that the left approves of men doing, but let's just say that it happened.
giving
And on the
girls money
right,
for nothing.
but on the right, if you say, you know, on the right, if you know they, you know, you find out the politician had an affair, or maybe he, you know, got a BJ from a intern or something like that. The left will have nonstop coverage of that shit and say what a despicable human being
Right?
that person is. And they shouldn't do that. And my God, took advantage of that poor girl. You know, the same poor girl that if she was blowing a Democrat, would be like, "Oh, you are empowered, baby. You are empowered. You go get that dick."
See,
And,
what the part that really cracks me up is you have the people that pearl clutch. Oh my god, the outrage! While you have like the 3 giga chat that stare at each other like, oh, finally someone that's relatable.
Right. I mean, and it's it's just weird to me. Like, and again, I was on Prime Kai's panel the other night, and I literally told them that all that they had basically said for the last 10 minutes was that they were lying and saying that they would turn down pussy, which we all know ain't gonna happen. Right? Like,
The only reason they would turn it down is because their wife is listening in the back.
well, none of them are married. So we know they
Or
ain't turning
maybe-
that pussy down.
Or maybe they're
it's like
secretly
declining,
gay.
turning down
they could be
pussy
gay,
when you're not
you know,
getting
there's
pussy.
nothing
It's
wrong with
like
that.
abs when you're too
Except-
skinny. Like it doesn't count.
You're going to hell.
Not that there's anything wrong with that.
Not that there's anything wrong with that. I mean, except you're going to hell. But
But listen, Nick Fuentes, you can't even blackmail him with like some massage.
yeah, but Fuentes will
honeypot.
never get into office. We're talking about Freitas. Nick
Yeah.
Freitas.
Yeah, but Nick Fuentes doesn't have any like scandal, that type of scandal.
Well, I mean,
in his past,
he
you know?
kind of does, but they're all been hashed out like a lot, so it's fine. But
I mean, he
but
has
Freitas,
been-
Freitas was the one we were talking about. I don't give a shit about Fuentes. Fuentes is irrelevant,
Right.
honestly. I don't give a shit.
Yeah,
He's
I don't
so
care.
fucking
He just makes a
funny.
bunch of noise and
He's
yaps a lot.
funny.
He is funny. He is funny.
He's
Not as funny as
hilarious.
Freitas, though. Freitas is fucking awesome. And you know what? Freitas, yes. The other day, he's like, I had to come all the way back to fucking Virginia to sit in a meeting, and we got nothing done. He's like, I wouldn't have minded if we come back and we got something done, but we didn't get anything done. And this is why your government is wrong. I mean, he's like, it's awesome. He's one of my favorite human beings right now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's cool.
Yep. What?
Yeah, hey.
Go ahead.
Brian is going hard on Sarah stock. What the fuck?
Brian's going hard on what?
Sarah stock? I mean, rightfully so, but man, he's going at it. I'm like,
Well, he's been
every
trying to pick a
hour.
fight. He's been trying to pick a fight with a bunch of these boss babes for a while. He was
Right?
really going after Ashley Sinclair. She said a few things about whatever, and then she made. I guess she kind of, and I think he was just kind of like, whatever. And then
She didn't
I
give a
think
shit.
she said something about him personally, and he's like, "Fuck that." And then now he's
I don't
like, all of the uppity bitches he's going after for some reason.
I don't know. Maybe you should come after me just for funsies, but I don't think you'd get enough clout out of it. But I'd be more fun to pick on.
Well, you are more fun to pick on. That is
Everybody
true,
knows it's fun to pick on me.
St. Clair will just literally pay somebody to troll you. And who's the other girl? Who are you talking about?
Sarah
Sarah,
Stock.
who's that? I don't know who that is.
So she was a virgin, but claimed to be a virgin, like got married as a virgin, made the husband wait for marriage and everything. While she allegedly was fucking Elijah Schaefer, her boss. Therefore, apparently she wasn't a virgin. So she lied about being a virgin in front of the Pope. She had the Pope's blessing for her marriage.
Oh, wow.
But see, Elijah also cheated on his wife, and he's got kids with his employees. So it's like, oh, the trad grift keeps on grifting.
Well, I mean, I really do wish that the trads would actually trad, and I would be very happy for that. But apparently, what we don't get that. What we get is the actors, the Screen Actors Guild version of trad.
It's because being on the internet is not trad. It's just not.
Yeah, I think that's true, because I actually do know a bunch of like really kind of trad women, and they're not on the internet.
You can't.
I mean,
you
they
can't
are.
make it on the internet with the traditional
back
mindset.
up. They are, but they're on Facebook, where their only people they talk to are their moms,
Yeah,
their
yeah,
husband's mom, their aunt, and a couple of people in their little sewing circles that they have, and so it's like, yeah, I do know some trad people who are on social media, but Yeah, they don't watch. They don't even watch YouTube, right?
Yeah, no, it's not like the Twitter wars and everything. Like it's
Yeah, the
completely
Twitter.
different.
Yeah, Twitter, gay.
And it's like there's nothing necessarily wrong with that. Like there's people like Rachel Wilson that are incredibly good at it, right? But it's like
Yeah,
it's just that you're trying to go on the right because you know that it's not like the popular side for women. You want to be this not like other girls type of stuff. So you just kind of fit the mold that they want you to fit. And then
Yeah.
it's like down the line, you're not even what you
Yeah,
pretend to be.
so-
But there's also the proof that
Do you
everybody's
remember-
got vices.
we were on you were on the show like 5 or 6 or 10 weeks ago, something like that, and we were talking about how I was making the point that Lily Phillips could step off a bus in Kansas in a simple dress with a hat on or whatever, and say that give whatever her actual real name is, and nobody would know that she had just taken 1,100 and some odd cocks in 13 hours. And
No, I think somebody would find out.
but everybody's like, no. I'm like, no, you guys don't understand. Just because we know about this shit, we're a small percentage of people. Nobody actually knows, and nobody even knows what that bitch looks like without her head on some dude's cock. So
Women my age,
and I did the
when
math.
it comes to investigating the boys' chicks that they date and like they bring as official girlfriends, we are more efficient than the CIA and the FBI combined.
Yeah, but
You
anyway,
will find
so
out.
the interesting thing is that, and I did the math. It was like 170 something yards of cock is what she took, figuring a 5-inch cock average.
Is that why she looks 50?
I don't know, but anyway, so she went Christian. We all know that, right? She went, and I felt like I called it. I was like, yeah, so that's. She
That's
can
the
just
path.
be, she just can, take, just take, 100 plus yards of cock. And then, 6 weeks later, she's done. But you know what? More power to her. More power to her. And I actually have some respect for Lily Phillips because she is not doing like Nala did and going on a victory tour. She's disappeared. She
really?
probably did step off a bus in Kansas or Idaho or wherever the fuck. Right? Like she's disappeared.
It's
Which
called
I
a
think is
manic
good.
episode.
Sorry?
It's called the end of a manic episode.
Could be. I mean, when you have that
happens.
many balls flying at your face, something's got to be.
I mean, if you want to be the best at something,
Charles Darwin, I see what you did there. I see what you did there. That is gross. It is gross.
what do you mean facial recognition's a thing?
Facial recognition.
It's not that deep.
Semen on the face.
Ah.
You don't recognize her without the semen on the cup. Ah, man, I can't.
Okay,
believe
no,
that.
that wasn't that deep. Okay, that's what I thought.
Yeah, you were trying to be like deep with this shit. I'm like,
And,
no,
yeah,
this is.
I'm like, wait.
We're
what am I
talking about
missing?
porn stars here. We're not
Yeah,
talking about
gotcha,
normal
gotcha.
people.
Yeah, like I don't know. It's like you just have like your come to Jesus moment after you make like millions of dollars. I'm sorry, like get the fuck out of here.
Yeah.
Just get the fuck out.
Sure.
Like using God's name in vain, like. You're
Well,
the
you know what?
devil.
I hope that they're really. I hope it's true. I really do. $5 comes in from Kronos 420. Bish, please. Kansas is all Mennonites and Amish. They would burn her. Are you kidding? You know who
Iran
else is
would.
in? Do you know who else is in Kansas? Flow State. I rest my case.
I think he's taken.
He would take her in.
He could
100%.
fix her. He could fix her. But
He could.
I don't know.
No, you cannot fix her. You cannot
Lily
fix her.
Phillips, she looks a little too old for her age, not gonna lie. It's kind of disturbing.
Well, she's got some hard miles on her.
Yeah, but it's not supposed to age you like that.
I'm being a dick. I don't know why, but all of a sudden I'm just being a dick about this
Yeah,
whole
you're being
thing.
spicy tonight. That's funny.
Well, because it's this purity testing thing that goes on with politicians on the.
know.
Well, hey, look, if it was equal, right? If we had come out when Jessica Flowers or whatever, Jennifer Flowers, whatever her fucking name was, you're really young. You probably don't remember the story, and you're Canadian. You probably don't remember that Jessica Flowers accused Bill Clinton of SAing her repeatedly while the Arkansas state troopers stood guard while he was governor of the state. And there was enough proof that it actually went to court. And I don't remember the disposition of the case. It kind of, because then he started running for president, and then there was Secret Service involved and a bunch of other shit. And I think it just quietly kind of went away. I could be wrong about that. I don't remember. I was young then. But I literally, when they announced his candidacy, I'm like, there's no way this guy is cooked. He's literally being charged and investigated for actual rape. Like, there's no way. And the guy became president. And after that, I was like, yeah, okay, the left has no purity test whatsoever. They don't give a fuck. And that would be fine if they just, if on the right, we had the same kind of sliding scale or whatever, right? So, and I'm not saying that we shouldn't call, a spade and say, hey, you're a dick and we can't have you as president. But when we find somebody that would really work for president, what always happens, regardless, is the left media. I don't care how much the left media loved you 3 weeks ago. You announced your run for presidency, and they will find your shit.
100%.
And
you might as well just play the card like Destiny and just own it, so that there's no dirt to dig.
And so it's one of those things where I'm like, and the thing is I just wouldn't. I don't care, right? I don't care about it. I honestly don't care if some guy is stepping out on his wife. I think he's going to go to hell, right? I think that's one of the sins that I just don't think that is in a very specific light. I think that there's problems with it.
Because here's the thing. I kind of do care though, because here's the thing. When it comes to personal level, would you do business with somebody who can't even be like faithful to his own wife and his own family? What makes you think the guy is not gonna backstab you if he can backstab his own wife and not really feel like the need to necessarily hide it from you? Like, that's how much he doesn't really care about loyalty.
I'm gonna say the same thing I said earlier. I said same thing I said in the panel. Powerful men attract women, and some of those women make it really hard to say no. And while I certainly don't agree with it, and I think it's degenerate as fuck, I understand it, and I'm willing to admit that it happens, and I'm willing to just be like, okay,
yeah,
that's part. I don't care about that. I care about where's his stance on these policies. What's he done in business? How does he handle his business? Right. Those are the things that actually I give a shit about for president. Right. I'm not marrying this fucker. 4 years, that's all I need out of him. I just need him to not be a fuck up for 4 years. And when we get some, and the left plays that game perfectly. They don't give a fuck. They don't care. They don't give a shit. But the right does, and we will literally abandon, and people will literally say, my vote doesn't mean anything. That doesn't matter. All this shit. When the left, you never hear that on the left. Because why? Because they know that they can win. $2 comes in from Chronos 420. I make my living on REITism mistakes like flow.
I mean, I could tell you why they act like that, but
I don't want who acts like what?
I don't want your channel demonetized. Don't worry about it.
Who? Why? Who does what?
Like the whole thing of the way that they act into like some like shielding for each other, protecting each other, and being like, oh, we don't care.
I don't care about all of that. I think no, there's no shilling. Like, the Democrats are just fucking degenerate, and they don't care, and they are and there's a real problem with that for me, because they're the exact same people who'll say that that You know, just because a woman is on OF, that doesn't define her, and you shouldn't look. There's no
does,
slut
though.
streaming, and there's none of this shit, none of that shit. And they're the exact same people who say that will say, "Well, that dude had locker room talk about these girls, and that is just."
Oh yeah, no, that's super inconsistent. That's really annoying.
Yeah, so it's so so I have a problem with the left on there, and I have a problem with the right because we purity test so strongly that we ignore the fact that I'm not marrying this dude. I don't care what. I'm not the one that has to
Right.
deal with him fucking around with other women or having proclivities that I don't agree with. Right? Like I don't care. I mean, I do care if it affects his job, but if it doesn't, again, we look back throughout history. It's easier to name. It's harder to name a president that hasn't had a sex scandal than it is to name one that.
Right.
that
True.
has.
Hey, babe.
So.
Do you remember Jessica Flowers with Bill Clinton? Jessica Flowers? That was like a scandal with Bill Clinton. Kind of?
In
Okay,
Arkansas
just
when he was
asking.
governor.
When he was governor, yeah.
In Arkansas,
He says
it might have
kind
been
of.
Jennifer Flowers. I can't remember, but it was something Flowers.
He says kind of, so that does ring a bell.
Yeah, it was a big deal, and it all went away. So,
Well, Monica
Because-
Lewinsky got a Netflix special.
oh, isn't that cool?
No, it's the camera's off there. It's fine.
Yeah. All right, I'm gonna go to bed.
All right.
I'm late, so I got to get up in the morning.
What?
Tomorrow's not a gym day, so I get to, I'll at least I don't
Get
have
to
to
chill.
get up and go I don't have to go sweat a bunch. But, hey, really great to have everybody. Clover Tack, always a pleasure to have you up. A lot of good gun battle tonight. You guys, thanks for staying with me tonight. I did have a bunch of tech issues to start with, and so I kind of cratered my stream, and the fact that we were able to rebound it all is fucking awesome. So thanks
Happens to
thanks
the
very
best
much,
of us.
guys, for coming by. Thanks, Josie, for coming up and entertaining us for a little while. And you guys are all awesome in my book, except that one Argentina guy that would not come up, who literally dared me to talk to him mano a mano, and I put the link out several times, and he didn't come up, so he must be a bitch.
Ooh.
At any rate, all you guys have been awesome, and I'll see you guys later. As always, be cool, wear the glasses if you need them, and go find somebody's lawn to stand on because I'm going to bed.